This episode contains darker tones and more intense scenes in the second half. A list of subject matter can be found at the end of the episode description. Listener discretion is advised. The world is full of wonders.
Magic is waiting in small moments.
And monsters might be watching, just out of sight.
But if you're looking to find them,
adventure is waiting to happen.
You never know who you'll meet along the way.
We are the Storyteller Squad. Hello, adventurers. Welcome back to the Storyteller Squad. Thanks for joining us for more Monster of the Week. Before we begin, let's check in with our cunning criminals.
I think I'm starting to like this group. I'm Fig.
Did you know you're more likely to die from being struck by lightning than from a venomous snake bite? I'm Kai.
So, what are we? I'm Ariel Valentin.
As a matter of courtesy, I came here unarmed, but this is not what I had in mind. I'm Construct 013, also known as Cole.
I'm the person formerly playing Vanessa Black. Let's have an adventure. Last time, our cunning criminals began a daring heist against one Alexander Harkness, the lich arms and antiquities dealer of Portland. Disguising themselves as a delivery of rare artifice, they passed through the security checkpoints and arrived within Harkness's fortress tower, finding the loading bay and foyer short-staffed. They began ascending the tower's strange and dangerous levels, and they learned very quickly, as Vanessa Black was claimed by a sinister pit trap, that despite a lack of personnel, this tower is still equipped with deadly deterrents against anyone bold enough to wander as uninvited guests. Following a close call within the tower's garden level, Valentin and the rest of the heist crew found themselves within the tower's library. And just after an unexpectedly intimate moment, they realized two things. That the library is supposed to be on the 4th floor of this tower, not the 3rd. And they are not alone, as a small being made of living flame called to their group from within a massive chandelier suspended from the ceiling. And that's where we pick up now. So, criminals, what do you do?
Frankly, I'm going to ask if I can just start this off by asking to read a bad situation.
Sure.
All right.
Makes sense. We did kind of leave it in a very tenuous moment.
Are you reading a bad situation because of the fire elemental, or is this about the relationship between Val and Kai?
It's more about the fact that this should be the 3rd floor, and it's not. The fuck is up with that?
Fair.
Okay, please, for the love of God, Dice, it is Pride Month. You are by Pride, Dice. You better be fucking nice to me. Oh. No. That's a 5.
Ooh, boy.
That's a big old 5.
Oofa doofa.
Okay. Starting off, giving me hold at the top of the session. I thank you so much, Valentin.
I'm getting experience. So, this whole thing has just been one big learning experience.
I think you hear a clinking sound as the chain of the chandelier twists on itself, as this entity that's up there within the cage-like portion of it is now kind of swinging, like they're gripping the bars and causing the chandelier to swing a little bit. And she says,
"Oh, goody, I'm so glad there's someone here. The library's been so quiet lately."
Libraries are supposed to be quiet.
I know. Usually, I'm up in Mr. Harkness's office, but sometimes I talk too much, and he says it's quiet time, and he sends me here instead.
About that, have you seen any curiosities up there?
In the office?
Yeah.
There's all sorts of stuff I don't understand, because I'm not a wizard. Mostly paperwork, and taxes, and invoices, and banking.
And how might we get up to that office?
They tilt their little flame head to the side and the tip of it curls so that it's still pointing upwards.
You know, I've only ever been in the 2 rooms, and I'm usually sent here with like a teleport, so I'm not sure. Can you teleport?
Can you teach me?
Oh, I don't do it myself.
Can any of us teleport?
I do not have that functionality.
Yeah, no.
What Tin Man said.
Not Miss Tim.
Yeah, I think Valentine's just a little out of focus right now because she knows for a fact the library is supposed to be the top floor. The office should be the floor that they're on right now. You said Harkness sends you down here? Did he remodel? The library used to be on the 4th floor.
They say,
Well, I don't really know up or down, really. I just say down because he's always pointing down when he teleports me. Yeah, I don't know how the rest of the tower is built. I've only seen the 2 rooms, like I said.
Okay.
Are there any windows in the library?
Are there any other doors in the library?
Are there any amulets in the library?
okay, in order, there are windows. There's like big, tall glass windows that are, again, letting light in, despite it being nighttime when you were outside the tower. There is a door across the many, many shelves of this library under the like mezzanine that like lets you walk up towards where the windows are. There is a door under that, just straight across, that leads somewhere else. This room appears bigger than any of the other rooms in like a way that is odd.
Oh.
It feels like you've entered a completely different space, but you know it's still a tower, so like it shouldn't be able to extend that far in the dimensions that this large room is.
I feel like Kai might just walk towards the other door.
Mm-hmm.
Because do we have a purpose of actually being in this library?
You know, or Val might have told you that the last time she was here, this is the place she stole the book from. You are not sure if there is an amulet in this room, but if you want to investigate, you could roll to do that.
Yeah, while things are quiet, Val's absolutely taking a look around. This is probably the most peaceful room they've been in so far.
Yep.
So
You just hear Delaney kind of humming as she like kicks her little flame feet out the cage of the chandelier.
Delaney.
Oh yeah.
Sweet baby girl.
She'll call down you.
So I'm Delaney. What are your names?
I am Construct 013, but you can call me Cole.
You're shiny.
That is correct.
I'm Fig.
You're smiley.
Val just opts not to answer and starts looking around the room.
Same.
They're grumpy. I get it. I'm told I'm annoying.
That could be an accurate categorization. Do you know if Harkness is in the tower?
Good question.
Ooh, excellent question.
I haven't seen him in about a week.
How long have you been in the library?
2 weeks.
She holds up 2 little flame hands. She's like,
I'm still on timeout.
What did you do, little thing?
she says,
Mr. Harkness gave me a phone, and then I was doing some dance videos, but it was kind of loud, and he didn't like that, so I had my privileges revoked.
Are you fucking telling me this fucking little flame sprite thing was on fucking TikTok?
Yeah, what's your handle?
It's hot stuff on the block.
Oh my god. I cannot with you.
Fig is 100% following that page.
Above table, I guess. Is it beneficial for us for Harkness to be here in any way, or for him to not be here? And should we, like, for us to know that either way?
It might be better for us to know that he's not around.
Yeah.
Because if he was around, our shit might get fucked.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we don't want to run into him.
He's not going to like that we're trying to take his stuff, right?
generally not. People tend not to like burglars.
Also, who is the person that sent Val on this?
The Meridian?
Meridian.
This cage, this constraint, is it accessible? Could we get up there conceivably? Or is it like hanging?
I think you see, if you look up at the ceiling of this place, there's actually quite a few of these like cages hanging on chains. Why don't you read a bad situation, Fig?
Okay.
Anything's accessible if you get thrown hard enough.
So I turned into my giant snake form so that I could get my +1 to investigate mystery, and I rolled a 6.
Okay.
So it went really well. I have so many questions.
If you'd like to remain a human being as you peruse the library, since it's a fail either way, I'll let you wreck on that.
I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes in this motherfucking library.
Oh my god.
Thank you, Darian.
I'm a bigger target as a giant snake than a person. And it's more fun.
Okay. How are you looking around this library, Kai, in your snake form?
Oh, I'm slithering around and my tongue's flicking out, scenting the air for old metallic things.
Mm-hmm. You smell a bunch of like dust and old paper and like ink and tea. There's like tea stains on a lot of the flat surfaces in here. As you're going around, you maybe bump a shelf and a book on the shelf teeters and then falls on the ground with like a loud thud. Fig, on your read a bad situation, how did you do?
I rolled a 9.
Okay. What question do you want to ask?
What's the best way to protect the victims? I'm sort of interested in befriending this sprite.
You look up at the chandelier and this little fire sprite, and you see more of these iron cages suspended from chains. The cages all seem to line up such that they are a few feet offset from all the bookshelves. When the book drops, it's like a loud thud and it kind of catches your eye. But one of these cages quickly descends towards Kai and it opens like a bear trap at the bottom. Like it's going to come down and like scoop them up.
Oh.
They are too big to fit inside this cage at the moment, but they are going to like get stabbed by the sharp bar edges of this cage if you don't do something to warn them quickly.
Oh.
I also will not take offense if you don't act on it.
No, I'm just trying to think. I think I'm going to grab something off of a nearby table, a paperweight or a small clock or something of that nature.
Yep.
And I'm going to just like chuck it at the cage, trying to knock it off course to where it doesn't fall directly on Kai.
Okay. Act under pressure as you try to protect Kai from being caged.
Okie dokie. My ability scores are saving me. It's an 8.
With an 8, you pick up something off the table and hurl it at the cage. Just at the last second, it sort of knocks the cage off course on its chain and it swings out, shing, clamps shut, and then kind of just swings back and it will smack Kai as it is now like lowered on the ground. But it doesn't remain there long. You hear the chain winch like ting, 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 as it like lifts up into the ceiling. But your mixed success means that you hear another chain rattling as a cage comes down and will catch you.
Oh, no.
And we see as this other suspended thing comes down, scoops Fig up, and then starts to be pulled towards the ceiling. And we hear ting, 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 and it stops. And you are now swinging in the air right next to Delaney. And she says,
Oh, that's a shame.
I love them.
Oh, rats.
Can you do me a favor? Can you ask Carl if he has my cup?
Who's Carl?
she points and you look behind you and you see a like desiccated skeleton laying there with like tactical gear and like other equipment that like one might use to break in somewhere.
Uh-oh. Hey, little help up here?
Can I follow where the chains like lead to?
I think you can see the chains go into, or you know, they're pulled up through holes in the ceiling with like maybe a little encasement around where they vanish up into. So whatever mechanism is like allowing the raising and lowering of these cages is concealed by the ceiling of this library, which again is like a big vaulted ceiling, unlike the other spaces you've been in previously, which were much more standard rooms.
Mm-hmm. And how high is Fig in these cages off the ground?
I think they're hanging about 20 feet in the air.
Okay.
It's up there, we'll say.
A dangerous amount of feet in the air.
Yeah.
A full damage amount of feet.
Right, yeah.
Right.
High enough that if a person fell from here, they would most definitely break a leg at least, if not damage themselves otherwise.
Kai's gonna revert back to her human form and look to Cole. Cole, do you think you could jump up there?
I could probably jump that high. Why?
Well, as much as I would like to leave Fig behind, we're probably going to still need him later.
Hey, I can hear you up here.
I know.
Delaney says,
Sometimes, if I get sent here for longer than a month, I start to wonder if Mr. Harkness has left me behind.
And her little flame wilts a little bit.
Oh, Delaney. We have to help Delaney.
I think all of you go, and Cole goes, that was a wise decision. Fire should not be out in a library.
It's a very solid point.
As he goes to jump.
Are you going to try and jump and leap up 20 feet in the air?
Yeah.
Just roll plus your tough. This is just a toughness roll, I think.
All right.
Still a pretty calm, quiet room you're in right now, aside from the chomping cages.
That feels like a waste of a good roll. So 13.
Okay, yeah. Effortlessly, Cole's mechanical body vaults him into the air. Which cage are you going for? Or are you going to try and land on one that's unoccupied?
No, I'm going for the one that Fig is in.
Okay, then yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think if I've ever been in a situation where I was somewhere high and something was leaping up towards me. I feel like it would be terrifying.
It probably is.
It probably is. But anyway, yeah, Cole connects with this hanging cage and it sort of swings and rattles the bars. But you're up there now with them.
So it opened from the bottom. How wide are the bars?
It's a pretty standard, medieval torture type of construction. It's just that it can fully split open from the top such that it can scoop things as it drops down on them.
Okay.
What now, big guy?
Cole is going to hook the arm that's kind of missing part of it up through one side of the grid.
Mm-hmm.
Please stand back. And he's going to put his other hand into the grid and try to just rip it open.
Stand back.
Basically put his fingers through it, close them and compress the metal, and then twist his hand. Just rip a whole section out of it.
Just ruin the structural integrity of this cage.
Yeah.
That, I will say, is kick some ass. You're trying to harm this cage.
Hell yeah. It's a 4 on the die plus a 3 from my tough plus my warrior thing. So that is an 8.
Okay. You are able to bend and warp this metal. And I think, it can't hurt you back. It's a cage. Or can it?
It can try.
Yeah.
You're able to twist this metal and sort of tear a section of this cage open, bending it back so that someone could escape from it. And yeah, I don't know that there's a huge consequence to a mixed success here. It's just, it takes you a minute. You're not instantly shredding this thing like tinfoil, but you're very strong and you're able to get it open. I think while you're working on, spreading the pieces of these cast iron, hear Delaney calling to you.
Oh my gosh, wow. When you're done over there, will you do mine?
No. And just keeps going.
Oh.
She kind of plops down in the center of her little cage. Just
oh, gee.
I'd like to try to jump to Delaney's cage.
Okay.
Now that I'm free.
Oh my God.
Sure. Cole gets the cage open and you leap immediately towards the other chandelier.
I hope you don't fall.
I also hope this.
Act under pressure.
Oh my goodness. That's a 10.
You make it to the other cage. She kind of bounces around on the inside a little bit. Just
oh, wow. Hey.
Listen here, Delaney. I would venture to guess that you know at least more than you're letting on, or maybe have seen the amulet that we're looking for. I'm going to get you out of here, and I hope you can fly or float us down, and we're going to find this amulet together. What do you say?
roll manipulate someone, Fig.
All right.
Oh my God. I'm scared and also delighted.
I rolled a 7, which is a mixed success.
Okay.
And so Notorious says that you have a reputation from your criminal past. When you reveal who you are, your terrifying reputation counts as a reason for people to do what you asked for the manipulate someone move. So I could potentially say something here because it's a mixed success. It's you have to do something right now or whatever.
Delaney says,
an amulet. Oh, like the thing he keeps on his desk.
Like the thing he keeps on his desk.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And you can help us get there, right?
I'll know it when I see it. Like I said, I don't really know what the rest of this place is like.
Fair enough.
But I'm happy to help.
Okay. I'm not quite as strong as my friend here, but I'm going to look and see if I can figure out a way to open this thing. I'm just going to start kind of like looking around at the mechanisms that keep this cage together.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have to use some magic, Fig. That's sort of the thing within your toolkit that would let you affect this metal thing.
Sure.
Since you're not a big, giant, strong robot.
Fair.
Who looks at you and goes, I would advise against this course of action. And then just pulls his arm out of the cage where he like locked one in and just lets go with the other hand and just drops down to the ground.
Cole, I appreciate your advice, but...
Valentine, Cole drops and you see several books on shelves start to like wiggle and wobble.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna have Valentine act under pressure to try and keep the other chain cages from activating and coming down at you all.
Great. Great. Love that for me. All right. That's a 9.
Okay.
Would it be helpful to protect someone?
It would be helpful to help out because you could then add +1 and it would be a 10.
I don't know if I could roll well enough for that.
Sounds like a whole lot of
It's up
metagaming
to
happening
you.
here.
That would be the roll if you want to do it.
Oh no! Good luck, Val.
Oh, thanks.
I'll roll to help out.
Considering it's Cole's mistake, you know what? That's valid.
That makes sense, yeah.
Listen, Cole is unbothered by these. They could not lift him.
Yeah.
It would try to close and just hit his arms.
Kink, and then just be kind of all mangled around him.
Yeah. This is not my problem. So that would be an 8 to help out.
Okay.
So that's a +1 to the roll.
But you expose yourself to trouble or danger. I think in this case, you do manage to help Valentine. You put a lot of books up on the shelves again, so they're not like falling and activating the sensors of these traps, whatever it is. As the last book is like gently tucked back in place, Valentine, you see Cole catch a thing that was about to fall that you were like too short to touch or, or affect because it was up way high on a shelf. And Cole reaches up and stops it and then turns to you. And then you just hear a thud because there's a book behind Cole that you couldn't see because of their big frame that has hit the ground. And one of the cages just drops down. And as we said before, it sort of tries to chomp down on Cole and just like the metal gets all bent and twisted out of shape. And then it kind of like scrapes along Cole's body and like probably tears up your clothes a little bit.
Oh my god, this is just a weird take on the claw machine at like the fucking arcade.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
You just see Cole look down at his clothes and go, biscuits. I liked these pants.
With this payout, we'll get you new ones. The book that fell on the floor, I just want to look at it. What's the book? What is it?
It's an old-looking manuscript that's bound in a leather hardcover. And it says, "A treatise on divination. The book you won't have needed to read after you've read it."
Wow.
Amazing.
Yoink.
You gonna take a divination book?
It's on the floor. I'm taking it.
Oh my god.
I'm just gonna take a divination book just for funsies.
Sure, why not?
Why the fuck not?
Here, if you're gonna take it, is there some kind of magic you want Val to like open a skill tree up to? It's just because Amity already has some divination type stuff. If you want it to be a different flavor, I can come up with a different title.
I can explain why she's taking the book later.
Okay, sure.
It's not for her.
All right. You guys managed to prevent more of these cages from dropping down, and we will cut back up to Fig as you are going to use magic.
So
I love that.
I hear you use magic, and I would like to make a case for burglar.
Oh.
If there's a way for me to burgle into this cage.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. You are trying to take something.
Maybe I've got some basic like lock-picking tools or something of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay?
That is okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll.
All right. Oh, boy. I rolled a 6.
Oh, no.
And I think I used my luck point last time.
Did you use it to go through the door?
I think I did. I think I used it during that whole...
To get us out of the drowning room? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Well, here's what I'll say. I think you try to burgle your way into this cage with your lockpicking tools, and your tool goes in, but you don't feel any resistance in there. It's like it's not actually a mechanical type of lock. I will say, what happens if you fail burglar? Does it say?
It doesn't. It just says pick 3 or pick 2 from that list.
For a success or a mixed?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay. So then I think pick 3 that don't happen and the one thing that does happen. We'll just knock it down another peg.
Okay. It's you get in undetected, you get out undetected, you don't leave a mess, or you find what you're after.
Yes. Okay. So only one of those occurs, and the opposite of the other 3 will occur instead.
Okay, fun. All right, well, if that's the case, I would like whichever option gets Delaney out of the cage.
Mm-hmm.
And then whatever other terrible consequences I'll take. Because I want a little fire friend.
Yeah.
After we almost drowned, Fig is hard pivoting in the opposite direction.
I think it's fine what you were after is what you want here, right?
That's what I would assume.
Makes
yeah.
the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
We'll deal with the other things after that. But yeah, you mess with this lock a little bit, and to play on your like reputation move that you triggered earlier, I think you do end up having to use some magic up here.
Mm-hmm.
You have one ability in your toolkit that might let you melt a lock that can't be opened with your normal thieves' tools.
Sure.
What better way to keep hiding this aspect of yourself from the people you're on a heist with? Doing it way out of sight. And I think your hand, the palm of it, glows again, that same charcoal magma effect, and reaches onto the lock, and you see a glyph appear and be burned away by this hellish touch. And Delaney sees this and goes,
Oh my goodness! I like you.
I think Fig just winks and says, "You're not the only one with a little bit of fire."
The door swings open, and Delaney looks out a little trepidatiously. She's like, kind of like got her little fire hands together, like,
Well, just gotta go for it, huh?
Cole will catch you, right, Cole?
No.
Kai will catch you, right, Kai?
Oh my god.
That's okay.
Delaney leaps out of the cage and kind of just spins in like a little pirouetting, floating gesture, like an ember would float,
Cute.
and lands 2 little feet on a rug in here. Yes, Valentine.
I was gonna say, I feel like Valentine would be very concerned about the room immediately catching on fire because she is a fucking fire sprite.
Yeah.
So I would like her to use magic to like summon like a little bowl to catch her in, like literally a fucking empty fish bowl. Just something to hold her in.
Or like, is there a glass jar somewhere?
Yeah, there's like decorative vases and like, I don't think there's dishes in here. It's a library, and Harkness doesn't eat.
Can we keep her in a lantern, please?
Oh, like a sconce off the wall.
Yeah, if there's like a sconce or a lantern,
That's fun. Yeah.
I am happy to change it and just like grab a sconce off the wall or something and like rush forward with it. Like, please land in here, please land in here.
Yeah, I'll let you do that. You proved that you're pretty nimble by running around, getting all the books on the shelves before they could trigger anything. How are you getting down, Fig?
Yeah. Here's the part of my plan that I haven't thought out yet.
I didn't think I'd get this far.
I think that Fig wants to try to... You said there's like a mezzanine
Yes.
that I imagine is like halfway down. So I'm going to try to do some like cool flippy shit and like swing, using the cage's swing momentum
Yep.
to like landing against the mezzanine and then like jumping down to a bookshelf and then hitting the floor.
Sure. Act under pressure, because it will be very cool if you pull this off.
Yep. It'll be really bad if I don't. That's a 12.
Amazing. Yeah, with sprightly and folk-like agility, you swing, and leap off this chandelier. You grab like the velvet curtains that are hanging, at the windows, grab that and ride it down onto the mezzanine level.
I love it. So fun.
Delaney lands, her feet touch down in the sconce, Valentine. She looks around, like her little hands at her sides, like,
Wow, everything's different from this level.
I think she's just like taking in this itty bitty little being that is in her, not quite her hands right now, and just looks up at the library and just goes, yeah, it's pretty impressive. I'll give him that.
We should move more quietly and lightly.
Agreed. Looks very pointedly at Fig. And very pointedly at Cole, who is just loud by nature.
Delaney says,
Oh, you want me to be quiet too? I'm pretty good at being quiet if I really try.
Delaney, this is Val, by the way, and that's Kai. You've already met Cole. Guys, Delaney has seen the amulet on this weird old wizard's desk. She's going to help us.
I'm glad that our coworker is volunteering information that we did not consent to.
Fig just looks puzzled.
It's okay. I can't do anything with names. They don't burn.
Natalie, that was such an unsettling statement to make.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, my guy, but you...
Ooh, what's that over there?
Oh my God.
And she starts walking as if she's planning to hop off the sconce and go explore something else.
No. Listen, Delaney, you're just going to pretend you never actually heard my name in the first place.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Listen, you're made of fire.
Yep.
And this room is 90% paper.
Mm-hmm.
Do me a favor. Stay in the sconce. Don't wander off.
Roll manipulate someone.
Oh, God. I mean, my charm's pretty good, so let's see what happens. Okay, that is a 10.
Okay.
On a 10 plus, they'll do it for the reason you gave them. If you ask too much, they'll tell you the minimum it would take for them to do it.
Delaney, you can see again, her face is just like two little balls of brighter light within this like matchstick shape of her head. And you see they kind of like, as if the lids were there, they kind of like droop. And she's like,
You want me to stay in a metal container too?
Just
Oh, gosh. Okay. I'm being stolen, aren't I?
no.
You're being captured.
You're being rescued.
We'll let you go as soon as we're out of here.
I'm getting very mixed signals. But as long as we're leaving, I guess I'm okay with it.
We're leaving, and we'll discuss the terms of your release after we leave this tower. But while we're in here, don't leave the sconce. Sound good?
Sure.
Okay.
Think of the sconce as a taxi.
I don't know what that is.
I had a feeling she was going to say that. Think of it as she kind of like squints at this little sprite for a second and then just goes, carriage?
Is a carriage like the things that deliver the stuff that Mr. Harkness sells?
It's transportation.
Okay.
So yeah, we're going to deliver you to the outside, but you have to stay in here until we get outside.
All right.
she sits down cross-legged in the sconce, and then she will like point.
Can we look at that over there?
Val very begrudgingly walks over with this fucking flame sprite.
There's just like a globe.
Uh-huh.
It's just like, it's been behind a set of, shelves that like she couldn't see from her vantage point in the chandelier. It's just like,
Wow! I've never seen this corner of the room.
Can I ask a off-topic question?
mhm.
Are there any signs or whatever to discern different sections of the library, like history, biography?
It is not laid out like a bookstore or an actual library. These are just Harkness's personal collection.
Okay. I'm guessing he doesn't keep his diaries or whatnot here.
Here's what I'll say. We've failed twice to like investigate within this room. I think you're getting the pretty like surface level details of this place.
Yeah, I'm being greedy.
It's also very big. Like to search this library would take you months.
Yeah.
True.
Months that we don't have.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to hone in on the door then. If this isn't where we're supposed to be, we should move on.
Can't argue with that.
And I guess we're bringing this little fire thing with us.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Natalie, are there decorations in this library? Does he have like decor besides just books?
Well, I think we've established there's like decorative sconces. The chandelier is very ornate. There's old fancy rugs all over the floor. I'll say the rugs are almost a little like helter-skelter. Like they're not neatly laid out in front of the shelves. They're sort of just like a mismatch of quilts and rugs all over the ground. In some places, even the hardwood is like exposed because they don't quite overlap in the right place. And the windows have very like ornate, intricate lead framing that like holds the glass in place.
But no like statues or art or stuff like that?
I don't think there are statues in here. I'll say there's maybe a portrait hanging up somewhere. You can see the master of this tower in a robe that is midnight blue with twinkling spots of light dotted across it. You're not sure if it's meant to represent diamonds or actual light within the painting. It's just like a very like fanciful looking robe with some gray embroidery at the collar. And then rising up out of that is the skeletal face wreathed in black flames of Alexander Harkness.
Who did he get to paint him as a lich? But yeah, I was trying to see if he's the kind of person that keeps suits of armor in his library, like on a stand.
No, not in here.
Val casts a very wary look at the Harkness portrait and then heads to the door. She does not like the look of that guy. He's creepy looking.
Yeah, he is. You had mended your iPad
Yes.
previously, so you can use the same method to get through the key lock on this door as we have in the previous rooms. It opens to another staircase.
And the staircase is going upwards?
Yep.
Okay.
Shall we?
Val is going to hand the sconce off to Fig. This was their idea, so this is their responsibility now.
Fair enough.
She's going to be so fucking cautious going up the stairs because the order was wrong. Something is off. All the alarm bells are going, but there's nowhere else to go but up. Allegedly.
You theoretically can't go back.
Right, because it's fucking flooded. So there's nowhere else to go but up. And she's like scanning the walls to make sure there's no fucking spikes popping out of them, looking for any like strings that would trigger traps, anything like that as they make their way up to this next door.
Okay. I will say your internal alarms are going off because like space is not making sense right now. But this space, this particular set of stairs at least, appears to be pretty simple and unmodified.
I don't fucking trust it. She's still gonna take her sweet fucking time getting up those stairs.
Okay. Delaney is like sitting on the edge of the sconce now, like kicking her little flame legs over the edge of it and like bopping her head back and forth. And she's like,
Oh my gosh, we're going upstairs. Stairs are great. I've never seen these stairs.
Valentine turns and goes, shh.
she puts like two little flame hands up to her face. Again, she doesn't have a mouth. The noise is just like coming from her. So it's like, what is she covering? But yeah.
Amity would fucking love this little thing. They would love her. They would love her so much.
Yeah.
If the pressure wasn't on, Val might love her too. There's something weirdly endearing about this cute little flame creature. However, this is like having a toddler sitting next to you at the opera. Like, it just doesn't work, you know?
Yeah.
With Fig, who is also sort of a toddler.
You said it, not me.
But yeah, you head up the stairs and get to another one of these doors, which you will have to keypad your way into.
Yep. And she does so. There's totally not a bead of sweat forming on her brow right now. No, what are you talking about? Nah.
You input the code for this room. The door is open. Smoke pours out.
Fucking smoke.
The dry ice budget. So crazy.
Yeah, seriously.
Through the roof.
That's where the sorcerer has been.
All the criminal enterprise, it's to pay for the dry ice.
Oh my God. He just has an aesthetic.
The room ahead of you, it's lit with like simple fluorescent bulbs on the ceiling. This one is much more similar in size to both the garden and the trophy pit trap room. It does not seem to have the same like spatial magics going on that the library did. And so it's still that same like wedge of a pie shape. And this room has pegboard walls on which are a vast array of weapons.
Ooh.
And lining the far end of the room are several suits of armor.
Val.
I don't like this. This isn't the office.
You have arrived in the armory.
Yeah.
Val, where did you get your information on the layout of this tower and building?
The last time I was here,
Why am I getting the feeling that your information isn't trustworthy?
seems like he remodeled.
When was the last out of character? When was the last time you were here?
Oh, it's been a while. A couple years ago.
Okay. So it's maybe reasonable that they remodeled. Or Natalie's doing something fishy.
The answer couldn't in fact be both.
Could be both.
I'll never tell until you figure it out.
Don't fucking do the DM hands at me right now, ma'am.
Does there happen to be like some sort of large blunt force weapon, something like an Oni club or a flanged mace on the wall?
There's like a huge assortment of weapons of all historical contexts just hanging on these, like I say, like the display boards.
Mm.
It's got the same vibe as like the room in every spy movie where they press a button and suddenly the walls are just covered in like guns and knives. It's that, but for like classic fantasy, and like weapons ranging through time and across world cultures are within this place.
Is there something small enough that Delaney could wield it, like a ninja star, perhaps?
There's probably some throwing projectiles somewhere in here, or throwing knives, or
Or a bottle cap.
I give Delaney a weapon.
Before we start touching and taking shit, I would like to read a bad situation again.
Oh, fair enough.
I do not fucking trust this room, especially those suits of armor at the end of this goddamn hall. Especially because Darian brought it up earlier. It's too convenient. I'm fucking on to you, my dude.
Regardless of what you find out about this, Cole is going for something here.
All right. Cole can go in first and be the sacrificial lamb again. But
Yeah. Cole will go in first.
Cole, the third toddler of this adventuring party.
probably the most trustworthy toddler. Read a bad situation plus sharp. That is another 10.
okay.
Any dangers we haven't noticed? The biggest threat? Shoot, what should I pick for the third one?
You can always hold on to it.
Yeah, I'll hold on to that third one.
As you're looking to the room, you're like, no, wait, don't go in right away. The suits of armor across the room all suddenly stand more at attention.
Mm-hmm.
And each of them, which is carrying or holding a weapon on display, lifts out a spear or a halberd, or like draws a sword and begin advancing across this room towards your group.
Neat. I love that.
Fucking called it. Okay, if they're advancing and Cole and Fig are about to be grabbing, she goes, fuck. All right, grab a weapon. Let's do this.
Cole saw them across the room and immediately just went, that is a magic thing, right? Like wizards do this with suits of armor.
Mm-hmm.
And so he went to get the biggest, thickest Oni club. So it's like that's like a 7-foot long, kind of like stone metal big club. They're kind of flared.
Yep.
Grabs it off the wall and turns towards you guys and goes, one moment, I need a new arm. And his eyes turn bright red.
Terrifying.
Yeah, let's go.
Horrific.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah.
You can feel the air around him has changed. You can feel like a tingle of the electricity crackle through his body as he goes into battle mode.
Ooh, actually, before I have you roll, because we didn't get to do this for Cole last episode, I would like to flashback.
Yeah, okay.
We see Cole charging forward at these armored suits, and as you swing this massive club, it passes in front of our camera, and we cut to a moment in Cole's past. A moment not all that different as we see you in an alley with several bodies in crumpled positions and a larger figure struggling to their feet. Cole, with your bright red eyes, they shine enough light that we can see the face of Mason Wright, the gargoyle, battered and bloody, and clearly with no fight left in him.
Get up, Mr. Wright. Face your end like a warrior.
A voice calls out to you. That's enough, Cole. Something in your programming instinctively complies with their request, and you begin to stand down from your battle mode.
Yeah, a bunch of steam you see leaving Cole's body as his eyes, which are this harsh red from battle mode, start to shift back to the more soft blue.
We see the Meridian is standing there, and he walks up beside you and puts a gentle hand on your arm. Well done, my boy. That's enough for now. You're free to go, Mr. Wright. And Mason spits out a dark slurry of blood and gravel. Good evening, then, Mr. Meridian. And Mason nods a grim acknowledgement at you, Cole, and then shifts past the two of you, limping away down the street.
Sir, why let them go? Are they not our enemy?
There is still much I must teach you, Cole. For instance, have I ever told you why we fight?
To vanquish our enemies. To send a message.
But down to the last man? Who then is there to tell the story of our victory?
I am not sure I fully understand.
I do not chase victory, Cole. I seek challenge. Facing challenges, we grow stronger,
An opponent worthy of struggling against is the greatest prize a warrior can find. In a way, they are like a friend. In some ways, they are worth much more. Remember this when you fight Cole. The purpose of every battle is to show the world your strength.
And sir, I believe you will need to find me a stronger opponent.
And our view of Cole's bright blue eyes shifts back to that crimson red, and we cut back to the present as you engage with this force of enchanted armor. Roll kick some ass.
Cole pulls out this massive weapon with one arm and launches himself across the room at the suits of armor.
Let's fucking go. Kick some ass, Cole.
Cole is real good at one thing, and he's real good at it.
Cole smash.
That's a 7 plus 4. That's an 11
Okay.
to kick some ass.
Nice.
Excellent.
What bonus are you taking?
Do extra harm.
Okay, sure. You swing this massive club. Where are you trying to hit this suit of armor, I suppose, is the first question.
Would he know, like, how they operate in general?
Your eyes are now in, like, tactical mode, and they're, like, scanning each of the opponents that are now, like, tink, 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 running across the room to meet you in the middle. And you can see through one of the helmets, at least, a skeletal face within this armor as they are all, running and raising weapons to attack you.
Yeah, I think he's going to go for, like, most area of damage he can do. So, like, probably down diagonally through what would be the neck into the rib cage.
Okay.
Just, like, smash the whole body.
Mm-hmm. You smash one of these suits of armor with this massive club and your powerful robotic strength, and the armor kind of just caves in. You hear a crunching and a cracking, and like out the bottom of this armor's torso, little bone fragments scatter out onto the ground. And as you continue the swing and sort of follow through like a baseball player, this armor is sent smashing into one of the display racks in here. And I think the helmet of this assailant pops off, and you see the skull kind of lying there against the ground as well, with like a big crack running down the center of it.
Cole will keep going if no one else is going to attack them.
Yeah, what's everyone else doing?
Val is grabbing like a single-handed sword and some kind of shield off the rack. She's preparing herself to defend herself, but she's gonna mostly let Cole handle it if he can.
Okay.
Fig feels pretty similarly. I think that they may have grabbed a small weapon for Delaney to hold, and they're kind of coaching Delaney on self-defense if the need should arise.
Yeah, there's like a little tactical knife. She's just like touching the tip of it with her little flame hand, like, woo! Ah! Looking at like her reflection in the shiny blade of it. Kai, you hanging back too? It's kind of funny if all three of you are just kind of waiting for Cole to handle his business.
Listen, he had those big red scary eyes, and I was like, all right, back the fuck off.
Yep.
Cole seems fine.
Kai is sort of begrudgingly like standing back, arms folded.
I mentioned in the first or previous session that like kick some ass rolls are just going to count for the room. So your 11 just carries over, Cole, as you continue to just smash. There's like clattering of armor. More skulls are like smashed apart as you take headshots at some of these things attacking you. I think a few minutes go by and we reach a point where all the armor has been knocked about. There's bone fragments everywhere.
I think also for everyone watching this, like, you've seen Cole be strong, but this was violent.
Yeah. What do you do now that you have like knocked all these opponents around? You said you were going after an arm.
He rips an arm off of one of the suits of armor and then connects it onto his body. Mm-hmm. Where his arm is missing, like the amount of arm he's missing, he puts on the suit of armor.
Yep.
To try to like make a like makeshift usable arm temporarily.
Okay. You take the arm off the like skeletal arm that was inside of it and attach that at your elbow joint. And I'm gonna have you act under pressure, but add your weird modifier to it.
8 on the die. Weird is 0, so that's an 8.
Okay, mixed success. When you place this armor against your half-missing limb, you feel a presence trying to push into your mind. It's not coherent. It's just sort of a ghastly wail of some tortured soul, and the hand forms a fist and like it punches you in the face.
No.
And we see the armor that's been kicked around this place, despite the skeletons within being quite shattered apart, begins to like dents pop out, and the armor starts to like magically repair itself and like put itself back together. Like arms crawl over with the fingers and then are like grabbed by another, placed into the armor socket. They reach down, pick up the helmet, and like twist it in place. The skeletons within were not even reanimated. That's Harkness being coy and doing sort of a misdirect. These are in fact soul bonded suits of armor. And so the spirit within the arm of this one that you've tried to attach is now fighting for control of your physical shell, Cole.
How far is Cole from the rest of the party? Like, would they be able to hear it if he said things?
Yeah, it's a room. It's not that big. You know, you can shout to them and they'd hear it.
Well, no, like not if he's talking to them, if he talks to the arm.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
All right. I think all of you see him grab the wrist with his remaining robotic hand and just almost at a growl go,
Silence meat.
Okay.
I'm terrified. I think seeing these suits spring back to life, Val's gonna look for a spell in the book. She's gonna drop the sword, pull out the book, look for a spell in it to like dispel this sort of animation magic.
Sure.
Please use magic. Okay, it's an 8.
Okay, just comes with a glitch.
Comes with a glitch. It has a problematic side effect.
Yeah.
And the effect is banish a spirit or curse from the person, object, or place it inhabits, because I figured that's probably the most applicable.
Yeah, that applies here, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you run up to one of these suits as they're like beginning to surround Cole again and just slap one of the suits of armor, and you see a like ghostly skeletal form get like knocked out of it, and the armor fully just collapses to the ground. The problematic side effect.
As if you didn't already have a hold on me to begin with.
I know. I technically have 3. I don't think I've used any of them.
Hey, Natalie.
Yes, dearie.
Cole's still in battle mode.
Yeah, that's true.
Do with that as you want.
What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean?
What's a side effect? Not draws immediate or welcome attention.
I'm a little stumped here.
Do you want to think about it while Kai does something?
Yeah, you do something. I'll think about
Okay.
what the side effect might be.
Kai is going to shift into her giant snake form and try and wrap herself around several of these armored suits in like a anaconda type strangulation. And I would like to use magic to as I'm like strangling them, in particular use magic to banish a spirit from an object.
Okay. Can I make an argument for trap a creature?
Sure.
I think we could say that for sure.
Okay. 11.
Okay. You're able to round up quite a few of these, at which point Val could run over and just slap, 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 knock these ghosts out of them, disenchanting their animation. Here's something for you, Valentine. As you are like casting all these ghosts away, I think you get flashes of their last experiences.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think as you like slap this first ghost out of the suit of armor, you kind of get a feeling of like like that feeling of like falling in your stomach.
Yeah, like when you're on a roller coaster. Okay, gotcha.
Yep. And you kind of feel that intensely, like full body feeling of falling, but then it passes and you're kind of like, ugh, and you are still standing, maybe take a knee or your stance kind of breaks a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what you feel. And then if you kind of shake it off and go and slap the other ghosts or the other, spirits bound to this armor that Kai has rounded up for you, you're going kind of quickly and you run by to like smack, smack, smack them all. The momentum carries you and the spell sort of just passes through all of them. So all at once, you suddenly feel the sensation of your body being impaled from many directions.
Oh my God.
You suddenly feel your lungs fill up with a burning, full sensation, like they're full of liquid. And It finishes off by feeling like your whole body is blasted with an intense heat. And I think you are going to take 1 harm, ignore any armor from all this.
I'm unstable again.
As you psychologically experience the deaths of these people who were taken out by the various traps of the tower.
Yeah. I think as she gets these flashes of these horrible, like, final moment experiences, she stumbles on the first one, and then when she goes through the last 3, like, really quickly, she drops the book and she's, like, on her knees, breathing heavily.
I think you hear an echoing voice in your mind.
Nothing goes to waste.
Ghostly sounds.
Yeah, and Val is just, like, on her knees, one hand down on the ground, the other one, like, on her chest, and she's just breathing really heavily.
Sweating profusely at this point.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah.
Hair is hanging in her face. She's a mess.
Mm-hmm.
Kai, I think Val needs another kiss.
Oh my fucking god.
I will say, Kai, you see Valentine go to cast this spell and then basically collapse to the ground. Cole, you've still got this one arm that's like trying to get at you, but you're holding it back.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing about that?
Can I pulse electricity and magic through it to try just like disperse the soul that's in it?
Yeah, you can pull a similar tactic as Val did.
Now, can I argue to use tough because my body is magical?
No, because this is the magic essence of you. That's your weird, for sure.
All right. Hell yes. That is an 11 on the die, 0 to weird.
Okay. You feel this spirit trying to like inhabit the new housing that would be your form, and the essence, the electrical and magical source of your consciousness and being courses through this arm and burns the spirit away inside. I think it's so quick and so much more intense than like a get out of here kind of banishment. This is like shredding the essence of what's left in this arm.
Mm-hmm.
So it just glows and sparks briefly, and then, yeah, you have full control.
Are all the other ones like out of commission now between Kai and Val?
I think we could say there's like a couple more, but now that you know what it takes to like fully take them out, you can now just start to like imbue your punches, or if you want to like enchant the club somehow and like use that to like smack the ghosts out of these suits of armor. We can say you make quick work of them in that way.
What is the name of Cole's boss's company?
Of Meridians?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I think it is Meridian Freight Shipping. He's a smuggler. It's a shipping and delivery operation on its face.
Okay. So I think his eyes still red. He looks at the other remaining suits of armor, and with his now hands crackling both with lightning, says,
"This body is property of Meridian Shipping Industries. Repossession is ill-advised."
and then launches at them.
I love that. That's great. You tear them apart. Now electricity is like crackling between the pieces of armor as you lay them to waste in this room. The pieces of metal go scattering. There's several more ghastly cries as the spirits are unbound from their metallic prisons. And yeah, the room falls silent. Other than,
oh yeah, get him! And then, yeah!
Delaney is like on the sconce, but like swinging the little knife around like she's also in the fight, even though she hasn't left it yet.
I would die for this tiny fire person.
Honestly, same.
The rest of you, I could take or leave.
We'll remember those words.
The feeling is mutual.
You're at 4 harm, Val?
Yep, again.
Okay.
I think you are both cold and sweating at the same time right now, Val.
Yeah, that tracks.
What is the magical rules in your world, Natalie?
Whatever's cool. It's a very soft magic system. What are you trying to do?
I feel like I'm trying to do multiple things.
That generally doesn't go well.
I think at the very least, Kai is going to unwrap themselves from the suits of armor. And then, like, you know how, like, you see in those nature documentaries, the anaconda slowly moving and wrapping themselves around their prey?
Go on?
I don't know how much Val is paying attention, but
She's not.
She's out of it. She's like middle distance stare, like
She's got 1,000-yard stare for. Well, it's more like 1,000-mile stare. Let's put it that way.
Kai has wrapped herself around Val. Nothing like super constricting, but also is like laid out because she's fucking huge.
Uh-huh.
And I think that Kai meets or tries to catch Val's like eyes with her large golden snake eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I want to use magic.
Okay.
What I want to do, because Val's in a weak position and vulnerable, I guess I almost want to do like read a bad situation, or if you would let me use magic to observe another time. I'm wanting to figure out if Val has betrayed me, because this is not going as planned.
Ooh.
Fig screwed them over before.
Yep.
I'm so intrigued. Go off, Queen.
Okay. Roll use magic.
11.
11. I like this very tactile magic that you have as a snake. It's very fun for a character that has no arms and legs when they're in their monster form to still have like most of their abilities be touch-based.
Thanks. This is like my first character, I feel like, in a while using magic. So I'm just like, how do I use magic? So I'm glad this is working out.
No, this is cool. It's got a very like sense memory and like physicality magic. You know, it feels very in line with like what shifters might be capable of.
I'm not Googling and learning so many things about snakes while this all is going on.
I love that. I think, you know, your snake tongue is like flicking out and like tasting the air, but like magically you're like using this connection as you wrap around Val to slip into memories of hers. You know, you can kind of sift around, but if you're looking back at like the time that she was here last, you get that she snuck in, went through the different rooms with the traps, was very careful. And you get a brief confirmation that Val remembers the library being on the 4th floor, which is where this armory is. Val doesn't remember this room in particular at all. They didn't experience an armory the last time they were here. And I think also, if you sift around at all through memories of like the time leading up to this heist, you see Val in Meridian's entertaining room at his giant complex mansion, and he's saying like,
I have several contacts you can choose from to form your team, but assuming you are successful, I will consider your debt to me settled, Valentine. And if you'd like to discuss more voluntary contracts in the future, we can leave that on the table.
and then it flashes to a scene of Val at a fancy-looking party where she's at the bar and there's a woman with a bunch of artifice lenses making up the top half of her face, and Val seeming very nervous and on edge.
It's good to see you, Ariel. You seem to be doing well for yourself.
What are you doing here, Victoria?
Working. I have a contract with Jonathan.
And then flashing back to scenes of Val in a lab that is like printing a bunch of devices and a crackling green stone and a figure you maybe have heard of, Victoria Salem, who was an artificer in the criminal underground here that was recently taken in by the agency. And you get like the scene of Val and Victoria fighting with each other and like screaming at each other, very like personal attacks.
We're supposed to be partners, Ariel. I think you have just as much to apologize for as I do right now.
What else was I supposed to do, Tori? I was scared. You're scaring me right now.
You have to stop doubting me.
And I need you to start being honest with me.
And I think you're like, oh, I've gone too far back. Like, there's clearly not anything about the heist. Valentine, roll manipulate someone.
Interesting?
Mm-hmm.
That's a 12.
Okay. Tell Kai whether they read any inkling of betrayal in Valentine's mind while this magic is happening. Your lie or your honesty here is at a value of 12.
There's no intention to betray anybody. The only intention you can find from her is to get in, get the job done, and get the fuck out.
Okay. That helps. I think as this has been going on, Kai unintentionally has been slowly kind of squeezing a little tighter, but then like relaxes. And I do want to then heal Val. I'm not going to kiss her or bite her, but
I think we have established the method via which Kai can heal. So if you want to heal, like,
Now who's the chronic shipper, Natalie?
listen, I'm just sticking to the fiction we've established.
Natalie said, keep it gay.
Y'all made choices, and now I have to make those choices have consequences.
How does that work when she's a snake?
It doesn't, because we established that her spit is poisonous in snake form and healing in human form.
oh, that's what we did. Okay.
So fucking funny.
Yeah, I guess.
Again, I'm not saying you have to kiss Val, but your spit is only healing in your human form, and it is your spit specifically.
Yeah. Okay.
You could Steven Universe it and just like spit on your hand and then like slap her.
Lick your hand.
I like that, but I don't know if she's that mad.
Please don't actually slap me.
Kai is going to shift out of her snake form, take Val like by the arm, like, 'cause I'm guessing they'll sort of fall or slump.
I mean, yeah, the shift out. Here's me being a chronic shipper. You shift out of snake form and you are like supporting Val as she's like half out of it.
There it is.
Yeah. She, I think, spits in her hand and just like presses it on whatever the freshest cut is.
Aww.
Yeah, she's not really cut up. It's just you gotta find an open patch of skin. Back of her hand, back of her neck.
She took some psychological damage.
You and me both.
You have to lick the whole side of her face.
Good lord.
This is what happens. You get spicy in session 1. It carries over to session 2.
Yeah, Natalie says commit to the bit.
This is the fiction.
We'll say you can ride on the coattails of your last use magic roll and heal Val for 1, once again, bringing you out of the unstable condition and at least back to functional.
She's doing okay.
For the second time during this heist, you become way less woozy in Kai's embrace.
I did not know I was the healer of the group.
Fig like puts their finger in their mouth and is like examining their spit, trying to see if it does anything.
Delaney does a little patooey, and like a little ember flies out and like into her hand.
Oh, precious girl. Val sits up and like wipes at the side of her face with her sleeve, like looking kind of grossed out. And I think just says, can we get back to work?
And Kai will step away.
Val gathers up the book and stands back up. Natalie, I don't remember in your description if you said there was a door at the end of this room, at the other side of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, these suits of armor were standing by it when you first opened the other door.
Okay. She's going to kind of look back at the rest of the crew and just goes, if anybody wants to take anything, speak now or forever hold your peace. And she's going to go over to the door and get ready to unlock it.
As you walk over there, you see like one of the standing suits of armor, just hands come through its chest as Cole rips it in half. You just see like the red eyes through the silhouette of it being torn in half. As it hits the ground and it's the last one, his eyes turn blue again. And he kind of like straightens up as steam comes off his body.
I obtained a new arm. Is there usually this much kissing in a heist?
Fig looks at Cole and again kind of winks and says, only in the good ones.
Val straight up has her back to everyone. She is focusing on the door and like pretending to like look up the new keypad code, but there is just like a slight warmth on her ears. Yeah. So we're gonna get the new code and pop the door open.
Okay, you pop the door open. It opens into a hallway. Similarly, it stretches out toward, forward, and you can see stairs leading up, and then there's 2 doors right and left, like a couple previous floors were.
I continue to feel like we shouldn't open those doors, and yet you always put them there, and my little goblin brain wants to open all the doors.
I gotta put him there.
I'm at war with myself.
I gotta put him there.
What if we send the fire sprite to one of the doors?
We are not using my sweet baby Delaney as a trap detector.
I'm supposed to stay in the sconce.
Cole, check the door on the right. Fig, door on the left.
Okay.
We'll just check them simultaneously and close them if it's bad.
Yep, you open both of these doors, more smoke pours out. In the one that Fig opens, it's a little dark in there, but it's glittering. And you see many what look like precious and rare gems growing from the walls.
That's a fucking trap.
And this is where Fig is?
Fig is looking into this room full of crystals, yeah. Cole, you open the other room and you see what looks like a printer copier room.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, there's a bunch of printers and copy machines and fax machines.
Just like an office printer copy room, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I thought you meant 3D printer, and I was about to fucking riot.
No, I do not mean that here.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying.
There's like the hum of like papers being sent or like faxes coming in.
Cool. Well, if there's nothing of interest, stop it, Fig.
Shiny.
If it's not what we're looking for, leave it.
Are you sure? It looks real pretty in there.
Yeah, do the gems look cool with Delaney's light?
If you like hold her forward on the sconce like a torch, yeah, her light is reflected and dances all around this crystalline cavern. It's like the inside of a geode, but with just like many multicolored types of stones jutting out in different protrusions, like a crystal garden of some sort.
Kai leans to Val. $50. He doesn't leave that room.
Val's going to say, need I remind you what happened the last time we opened one of these side rooms? Close the door, Fig.
Natalie, can she have to roll manipulate someone?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, roll manipulate someone.
Because Fig really wants to try to take a shiny rock away from this place.
I know. I know. Listen, I would too.
We're all that 6-year-old kid at the Science Museum with the shiny rock display in the gift shop.
Yeah. So that's an 8.
Okay. Do something right now to prove you mean it.
Okay. To prove that she means it, Val stomps over to Fig, yanks him back by the collar, and slams the door shut.
That'll do it. That'll do it for me.
It's just like, no.
There's not a lot of object permanence here, so once there's no line of sight, okay.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
And then head over to the door at the end of the hall, assuming that nothing goes wrong.
Do we need to stop Cole?
No. Cole looked in the room and just went, this is nothing.
And then closed the door.
Just looked at it for a second and then just closed the door and walked away.
You head up the stairs and there is another door at the top of them.
Open it with the keypad. Call the big guy forward to be in front and take the brunt of any big attack if there is something there.
Okay.
Well, we know what's coming out first.
A lot of smoke.
So much dry ice.
Oh, yeah.
The door opens. There is no smoke.
For fuck's sake!
Son of a bitch!
What?
Instead, what pours out past your feet
Oh no.
is some water.
Water?
Water.
You all peer through the open door and see before you the slightly waterlogged but unmistakably familiar layout of the garden room you left behind 2 levels back.
What the fuck? Hey, adventurers. Welcome to the midreel. If you're listening to this the day it comes out, we know it's been a fairly heavy week, especially for our adventurers in the US. And simultaneously, this episode also gets pretty heavy. So if this is the point where you're going to push pause and come back to the episode at a later time, we completely understand. And we'll be right here when you get back. I don't have a promo swap for everyone this week. We're going to save that for the next episode. Instead, on behalf of the squad, I'm going to take a moment here to express some gratitude. Thank you for listening to our show, for experiencing this queer story full of love, friendship, sorrow, and perseverance with us. Thank you for sharing your love of this production with your generosity, whether that was through monetary means or through your time by bragging about us on social media to your friends or in person. Thank you for the incredible memes and stunning fan art. It always lights up our day. Thank you for sticking with us and taking part in this journey with us. We are and continue to be proud of this story that we've told together. Take care, adventurers. We'll see you next time.
We see the graded magical portals displaying their original sunny view. The plants are all dripping wet, but you are looking at the garden room again, the same as when you entered the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And again, I reiterate, what in the ever-loving fuck? Can I investigate a mystery or read a bad situation to try to get an idea of what the fuck happened here?
Also, is there a door at the other end of this room? Because we didn't open it. Fig melted through it.
Yeah, well, that's because the room went into lockdown and started trying to drown us.
Yeah, but is there a door there now?
There is a door with a melted hole in it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So same door.
If I look back, it's still the 2 doors, stairs.
Looking back from where you are positioned right now, it is stairs down.
I still want to backtrack.
Kai, you go down the stairs and you look down the hall again, and yes, you do see the 3 doors down there.
It's a great band.
Thank you.
Canon band within the universe of TSS. 3 doors down there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you see a hallway and 3 doors, Kai. What do you do once you're at the base of these stairs?
I want to look into the room that the copier or printer supposedly was in.
Okay. If you try that code, it does not work.
What happens if I open the door that we supposedly came out of? That we came out of from...
From the armory?
Yeah.
That code does not work.
Who has the iPad?
Val does.
If we change the codes, different things are behind the doors. Just a guess.
No, but that's like...
Val, can I get one of those codes?
She'll rattle off a code to Kai.
You would have to go look at the pin pad to see the serial number that matches the code to it.
Yeah, okay. We'll leave Cole and Fig looking confused at the top of the stairs. She'll go over, check the keypad, rattle off a code.
Which one do you try?
Yeah, which door are we trying, Kai? You're the one who's picking a door.
The one that we came out of, the armory.
Okay. Enter the code based on the keypad serial number, and it opens, and you see the trophy room.
Oh my god.
The floor is complete once again, but this is the first room that you guys came in.
Val audibly goes, what the fuck?
Can you try this other door? And points to like one of the side doors.
Which one? Right or left?
Left.
Okay.
She'll enter the code for it.
You open that room, and you see a room with a bunch of tiny holes in the walls.
Nope. Closes the door immediately. Nope. No. Nope. No. Nuh-uh. Not happening. Not today, Satan.
Sure.
Pull my leg. What's on the door on the right? I gotta know. What's on the opposite side?
You see the stone garden with the scorched, charred skeletons.
Oh, fuck no. Close that door again, too.
Read a bad situation, Val.
Ah! Whoa. Let me drop a die.
Or rather, investigate a mystery.
Okay.
Because you're not in danger at the moment, but you're certainly reeling with information.
Some shit is going on. I'm at a 7. You know what? That's fine, because we really only need one question to be answered. Natalie, what is being concealed here?
I'm so glad you asked.
Don't look at me like that, man.
Don't look at me like that.
So smarmy. So... Go on.
So you're somehow back? Like you've somehow come back to where you were, even though you've only been going up.
We somehow went in a circle.
And the library was on the wrong floor compared to the last time you were here.
Right.
But the last time you were here, you didn't repeat any rooms. And if you can go back, how are you sure you made it to the 4th floor?
Right.
You think about the construction of this tower, how it is a circle surrounded by these black obsidian columns that contain the stairs. And maybe it's because you recently dated an artifice expert, so you've had a little more exposure in the last year or so to mechanical engineering and like functionality of things. You could surmise that the rooms of this tower, or rather like the central tower itself, each of the floors might be able to rotate around that central disc.
Mm-hmm.
But more importantly, the stairs can rise and fall within their black columns, meaning that as you ascend a flight of stairs, if the stairs are descending...
They're elevators.
Yes. So he can send you on an infinite loop through the rooms of this tower by rotating the discs of each level and sending you up and down levels, however they're programmed to move.
I'm just saying the implication of what Natalie said of that he can rotate these rooms means he knows we're here.
Don't metagame.
I'm just saying. I'm using your words.
Sure.
So
maybe we could ride the stairs. We could wait till the stairs are up higher.
part of me wants to go into the trophy room.
That the whole floor falls down?
The very dangerous trophy room, yeah.
The most dangerous room we've been in.
You want to go back to the trophy room?
Vanessa just sort of disappeared.
Yeah, she disappeared into the floor.
She disappeared and Cole's arm disappeared, yeah.
Let's all just jump down there and see what happens.
Natalie.
Yes.
I guess Cole and Fig probably don't know this because we weren't with them when Val had this realization. But just from a mechanical standpoint in the actual building,
yep,
we broke a whole bunch of mechanisms in one of the staircases.
The stabby ones, yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Would that have fucked up that staircase?
You're not sure. You'd have to find that staircase to see if it damaged it further than just bending the sleep drug laced spikes.
Okay.
Val is gonna, she can see Kai itching to go back into the trophy room. She's just gonna, put up, just wait. Just 1 minute. Just single finger up, hand signal. Goes over to the stairs. Guys, get down here. We've got a problem. And we'll proceed to, once everybody is gathered, explain what's going on. Harkness has clearly been working on some upgrades. The rooms, the staircases, they're rotating and putting us where he would want us to go.
So, what if we found a way to manipulate things? Could we make the stairs move the way we want them to go instead of how they're directed to?
Is there any way for us to tell whether or not this is being done actively or passively?
I don't think you have any way of knowing that. Again, the tower's been very understaffed. There were the suits of armor and the people in the loading bay and the foyer, but there aren't all the quote unquote skeleton guards that Val mentioned
remembers
from her last time here. Yeah, the tower seems pretty empty of denizens at the moment, at least.
You said that in the trophy room the floors were back?
Mm-hmm.
What does that look?
Maya's got mischief on her mind.
This is an audio medium, so no one listening to this knows that, but what does that look?
Yeah.
That was a look.
Val is straight up going to say aloud, I feel like we're being set up. Can't shake it. This feels like a setup.
When Vanessa disappeared, we didn't hear any curse splat.
Nope.
I want to shift into my snake form.
Okay.
I want to use my tail to touch one of the tiles of the floor to make it disappear.
Yep.
Fall, whatever.
Yeah. Tap it with your tail. It falls away. There is the void beneath.
I want to use my snake heat sensing to look to see if I see any warm-blooded creatures in this pit.
Investigate a mystery.
Come on, skull dice, don't fail me now. Ooh, not bad, not bad. That's going to be a 10.
Couple questions.
Would you tell me where did Vanessa go? Because one of the questions is where did it go?
Yeah, she fell into the void.
Okay.
I will say you don't see a heat signature of anything if you glance down at this and try to open your snake senses to take in information. It's just darkness.
Yeah. When we came into this room initially, we had mixed successes or failure on investigating this room, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So could I use the what's being concealed here? Because that's, kind of essentially what I'm trying to do. What do I see with my snaky eyes?
It literally just goes to darkness as the floor opens up. You can't see a bottom. You can't see an edge. It just falls away into nothingness. What's being concealed here is potentially what happens when things fall in there. You don't have confirmation that it kills you, but you don't know where it goes or what happens. So
are you able to tell me, because you said that there are these pillars or the display cases, correct?
Yes.
I'm wondering, do those go down past the floor? Am I able to wrap myself around and go down?
You want to wrap yourself around one of the pillars and descend?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye, Kai.
Bye, Kai.
Making choices.
Kai wraps around one of the pillars and starts to slither down into the darkness.
I would advise against that.
Snakehead looks at you. Tongue just flicks out. Keeps slithering down.
Spiral, spiral, spiral. And they vanish into the dark.
Okay, well, this is fun. Bye.
Maya's like, actually, I had to go, and so I did that on purpose.
Sorry, my husband's calling me.
And that's a wrap on everyone.
Oh my God. So Val has vocalized that she feels like they're being set up. I would like to attempt to use magic, and if it's successful, I want to observe Harkness's office. Because maybe there will be answers.
Okay.
That's a 10.
Wow.
Okay. Valentine, you hold your book out. You cast some spell words and gestures with your hand, and your eyes light up. Have we described what color Val's magic is before?
I don't remember. I'm going to say it's a golden orangey sort of color. Maybe like, it leans like more coppery.
This like sort of orangey, coppery glow emits from your eyes, and you see coming into focus in your vision a stately office. There's a lot of fine turned wooden furniture in here. It's like stained or is just made of a very dark hardwood. There's another bookshelf with a few old looking books. There is a large window behind a simple, old-looking wooden desk. Like it's still well maintained, but it looks like it's maybe turn of the century. I think under a little bell jar on the desk is a like floating, shimmering amethyst talisman. It's honestly, it resembles a like composite ore of gold, amethyst, and smoky quartz. Like you'd taken those three materials and just kind of mashed them together under intense pressure to create this singular floating object. The light is dim in here, but as you glance around the room, as you observe this place, I think you hear something be set down, like a glass on a table. And you, within your vision, see the suited, regal, postured figure of Alexander Harkness as he looks up from a book as he's setting a wine glass down and says,
Sneaking a glimpse at the prize before you've solved the puzzle, Miss Valentine. That's hardly very sporting of you.
God fucking damn it.
and he snaps the book closed, and Val, you feel like a gust kind of hit at your back, and Fig and Cole, you watch as Valentine is suddenly thrust forward like she's been shoved by an invisible force, and she goes plummeting into the dark void.
God damn it! I was right!
Well, I guess it's just you and me, Cole.
I mean, you look at Cole and you can feel the static around his body, and his eyes are just red as he's standing there.
Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't said anything. But it's like, oh, this is bad.
Delaney speaks up,
"Are we jumping? Woo!"
and leaps from the sconce.
Oh, man.
And just plummets down into the darkness.
Oh.
Cole, I know this is going to rub your protocol the wrong way, but I think we're going to have to jump.
Oh, God.
Roll manipulate someone, Fig.
Okay.
And also, you're gonna have a -1 to that.
Okay.
Cole has a move called Inhuman. It's like the required
Gotcha.
construct move, which means everyone always has -1 ongoing to using manipulate someone on you.
Oh, that's cool.
Ooh,
That's cool.
fun.
It also means I have -1 ongoing on manipulating anyone else ever.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, he doesn't understand people.
Well, I rolled an 11.
Hey.
I think eyes flicker and go blue again. And Cole looks at you and goes,
This is ill-advised.
I know. And then I jump
And you leap into the dark. Fig disappears.
with a little salute.
I think Cole just stands there for a second
Mm-hmm.
and thinks about what he would have been asked to do specifically by his boss. And like, would Meridian have asked him specifically to make sure nothing happens with the other people or just do the job?
I don't think you would have gotten specific instructions of like, bring everyone back in one piece. I don't think there was a specific body count that needed to return so long as the job got done.
Okay.
I will say, if you don't want to jump in the thing, Cole, you can fucking explore the tower, but you've just been told it's kind of a labyrinth that can kind of shift things around. So it's up to you what you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, with manipulate someone for another hunter, it says if they do what you ask, they mark experience and get +1 for it. So you don't have to do it. It's just
You don't have to.
You can't even get into the other rooms without the iPad, which Val had.
That's true. Yeah, you don't have the keypad.
True. Could try to break the doors, but I don't know if that would work.
You had experienced in the last session the like protective wards against structural damage, and you're not even sure how that other door was melted, right? Nobody observed that happening, and Fig used some very powerful place apart magic last time to like break Harkness's spells a little bit. So, yeah, you're not really sure.
I think he runs the numbers like, I can get out of this room, but then what?
Right.
I have ostensibly infinite time because I don't need to eat or sleep or drink anything, but still I have to do the job.
Right.
And as close to a sigh as a robot can produce comes out of Cole before he just steps off the edge.
Okay.
Yeah, Cole steps off the edge and just drops into the darkness.
We see you vanish, and for a while you feel like you are falling, but then you land within a dimly lit, very simple room in the midst of bedlam as Kai, who got down there first, Valentin, Delaney, and Fig are being assailed by these shadow-like creatures. And just so we can catch everyone else up, let's jump back briefly to see as you all arrived here, starting with Kai. Kai, as you slithered down the column, eventually it vanished beneath you, and you fell for a little bit, but then felt yourself land with like a gentle thud as if you dropped maybe 2 feet and not a great distance at all. And it was a completely dark room. There's no sign of Vanessa and not a lot of furnishing in the room.
Okay.
The one thing that is down here is Cole's original forearm. You discover it as you are slithering in the dark and pass over it.
Yeah, I feel like if anything, I might be like slithering around trying to find the edges of this potential room.
You do find a door frame on either end. And I think by the time you're finding the second door frame, Valentin, you drop in completely dark room. Like you can't even see your hand in front of your face. It's just, you're in darkness, but you're on solid ground. And it doesn't feel like you fell far.
I don't have to be in darkness, per se.
What do?
She flicks her thumb
on
her hand for a little blowtorch lighter situation.
Okay. You flick the little blowtorch lighter, and Kai, you can see Val's face illuminated in the midst of an otherwise very dark interior space.
Yeah, I like to imagine that the light from your lighter catches in Kai's eyes, and just suddenly there's just big gold eyes looking at you. The 2 door frames, are there doors attached to them?
Yes.
Do they have keypads?
Yes.
That's okay. Val has the iPad.
And around this time, Delaney floats down to the ground, touches down, and casts more illumination into the room. You can see that this place is vacant. It's just like a big empty room with like flat tiles, flat walls, and then the 2 doors. But as soon as Delaney arrives, shadows on the wall begin to coalesce and move and step off the surface of the wall as these creatures, and they rush at you, Val and Kai.
I want to protect Val with my body and also nudge her towards like the door that I had found when they landed and get her to enter in the code.
Okay, roll protect someone.
8.
Okay, you'll protect them but you'll suffer some or all of the harm they were going to get. This shadow creature, as it lunges for Val, you get in the way, you put yourself between her and it slashes at you, and you'll take a harm.
Cool. I take no harm because I have armor things.
Ah,
Yeah.
nice.
Oh, and I get +1 ongoing until the fight is over.
Okay. You see a creature appear off the wall and like loom over Delaney. It's just running around the room, being chased by this behemoth as it lumbers on after her. What are you doing, Valentine? I think we have a moment more before Fig will show up.
We need to get the fuck out of this room. Val is going to start searching for key codes.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to check the serial number because that's what we've been doing. We've been checking the serial number and then finding the corresponding code. I do want to check and see if either of the serial codes on these keypads are ones that she recognizes from previous doors that we've opened.
I'm going to spend a hold here.
God damn it.
As you are shuffled over to the door on the keypad, you pull out the iPad, but the iPad screen lights up and projected onto the wall of the door. Another shadow leaps forward.
I should have turned down the brightness.
And will tackle you to the ground, Valentine. And the iPad goes spiraling out into the center of the room as you are attacked by another one of these shadow creatures.
I should have put it in night mode.
Take 1 harm as this thing like bites your shoulder.
You just really want to keep me unstable. You really want me to stay unstable.
Listen, it's dangerous in here.
Natalie wants more snake kisses.
At this point, you are knocked to the ground, Val, and Fig lands in the center of the room. Fig, you see Delaney being chased by a monstrous shadow. You see more shadows creeping off the walls as her flames light up this room and send flickering, dancing light everywhere.
Can I read a bad situation?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
That's a 10.
Okay, 2 questions. Or is it 3? Yeah, you get 3.
Yep. Do you want them all at the same time, or do you like them?
However you would prefer, although I will say I might forget, so it's on you to remember you've got them if you got them.
Yeah, I'm just remembering I forgot my 3rd question earlier.
Still got it.
Hell, if I can use it now, I'll use it now.
You can burn it later, or once we get done with Fig's turn here.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, first and foremost, what's my best way out?
The doors.
Sure, that makes a lot of sense.
Getting the door open would be a way out of this room.
Sure.
I will say, you look up, and even though Delaney's light is illuminating the walls of this place, above is just shadow, as if it was a mirror image of the floor of the previous room.
Okay. What's most vulnerable to me? I'm not good at anything fighting or really casting magic, so I'm trying to figure out what my utility could be here.
I mean, Delaney's in trouble. Mm-hmm. She's being pursued. Valentine is wrestling with a creature, and Kai is engaged with another in their snake form. Of the 3, I think the one wrestling with Val is probably the most vulnerable because it's got its attention solely on her as it looks down trying to bite at her more.
Okay.
The one chasing Delaney is pretty zeroed in on her, but she's able to like leap and skip and get away from it. It seems pretty well so far. And if you got close to Kai right now, there's a chance you get smacked with a giant snake tail and be injured by your teammate.
Fair enough.
I'd definitely do that.
And then, are there any dangers we haven't noticed? It's okay if the answer's no.
I always like to try and give you something with this question, even if it's like, not much. The danger you haven't noticed is that potentially this means Vanessa's out there somewhere.
Right.
But also her not being in the room could mean something really bad happened to her with these shadow monsters. So you're not sure, but like that unknown, I guess, sticks out as like a problem. Like there isn't a carcass here, but there also isn't any sign of her just like hanging out in the dark. So you're not sure.
Okay.
If there's any other danger, but there's a lot of pressing danger, which is these shadow creatures that continue to manifest.
Right. So I know that the doors are the way out and that Val is in trouble and that Val has the iPad. So I think I'm going to try and get this one off of Val.
You kicking ass?
I think so. Although I don't really have a weapon.
Could also be a use magic, something you're doing. If you want to tap into your powers or tap into some spell.
There's Cole's arm.
Oh.
Cole's arm is down here.
It's very big.
Yeah, I think I would grab Cole's big arm and I'm going to try to whack this thing.
Nice. Then that's definitely kick some ass.
Great. I rolled a 3.
Oh no. Oh, honey.
Fig! You get your ass kicked instead.
Yeah.
Here's what we'll say. You raise Cole's big arm and swing it. And I will say you can like knock the creature off of Val. Like you fully smack it in the face and it kind of stumbles to the side just to get its footing. But doing so activates something within the arm and it kind of like powers up with the electricity a little bit and it sparks and stuff. And this causes even more light to enter this chamber and another shadow creature just rises from the floor behind you out of your own shadow and will slash you across the back with a long like mantis-like hooked arm for 2 harm.
All right, I'll take 1 of that.
At this point, there is a loud as the rest of Cole joins us here in this room. And Cole, you see, as I've described, bedlam as your heist crew are dealing with a bunch of monsters in this space. Did you have something that was time sensitive, Val, or?
I was just going to ask my question so I don't forget about it.
Okay, sure, yeah.
What's the best way to protect the victims?
Val, every time a light source is turned on in this room, more of these shadow creatures appear.
Noted.
You could definitely turn the iPad off. That's pretty easy. You could definitely ask Cole to like go stealth mode and shut off any LEDs in his circuitry. Not sure what you're going to do about Delaney though. So you have to somehow hide the light in this room or conceal it or do something to keep it from projecting onto the walls, which seem to be enchanted in some way to manifest these shadow creatures as the trap part of this room. Because you'll recall, like, you fell into this space and it was pitch dark.
Mm-hmm.
And instinctively, the first thing you did was light a light.
Yeah, because I can't fucking see.
Yep. And, you know, it was very tiny light, so it was like just starting to hit the edge of the wall, but Delaney's much brighter. And so she really fully cast shadows when she arrived.
I mean, was it a lamp that Fig had that?
A sconce?
It was a sconce.
Oh, okay, I was gonna see if there's like a blind or a shield or something.
I mean, he's probably got it. Like, you can have the sconce, but it's just like it's, you know, like an open brazier. Like, it's not going to be a thing that would hide her, you know?
I could close her in my mouth.
She would burn you.
I mean, how big is she?
You just have so many urges to do things with your mouth. Like,
isn't she 3 feet tall?
Like, you're kissing people. You're like, maybe I should lick people. You spit on people. Now you want to just like eat people.
I haven't gotten into a fight and I can't use my claws of the beast move.
Listen, if you're a snake, you're kind of just a very long mouth. So I don't think Maya's off base here.
Fair. Yeah. Totally fair.
Not much else to snakes, just mouth and more. What's after that?
Does Cole have like a Bender from Futurama, like a cabinet in his stomach?
So I do have a move that is hidden compartment.
Yes.
I used it before with the bottle of wine.
Right.
But the first thing I want to do was investigate a mystery. Like, as he just lands.
Yeah, take in information, go for it.
I think it's just like, does not flinch when he hits the ground. Just like fully vertical, hits the ground, no movement. And then kind of looks around the room. I love these dice so much. That's a 9 on the dice. Sharp 1, that's a 10. I have +1 to sharp.
2 questions.
What can hurt these creatures? I think, do his eyes trigger any of them? Because eyes aren't incredibly bright.
Basically, anything brighter than...
Because, like, the iPad set it off. That's why I'm asking.
Right. But the iPad is a big, bright screen. You know, like, if you're in a dark room and your computer's on, that screen is filling the room such that you can see the walls of your room. But imagine, like, the little red dot on, like, your TV. That's not lighting up the room. And Cole's eyes are kind of that lumen power.
Okay.
So, like, yeah, you think it requires, like, a bright light to cause this. But if you could conceal the bright lights in here, aka Delaney, it would at least stop summoning the monsters. As far as what could hurt it, you punch one of these things and it reacts, it takes the hit, but then doesn't seem like there's much damage and it's hard to make out because it is just made of shadow.
Okay.
And you gather that, like, even if it did damage it, as soon as more light casts more shadow in this room, it can just fix itself, or another one will spawn off the wall and take its place.
If he's understanding, like, these are shadow creatures, this is what's happening, watching what's happening in the room.
Yeah, I mean, a minute or two of you just like dodging creatures, helping people, whatever, like you can kind of see like, yeah, the creatures continue to spawn. Delaney might even like leap up onto your shoulder at one point as like a thing goes to like try and bite at her, and you just reactively punch it in the face. And she's kind of like clinging to your shoulder armor like, wow, thanks. And then she'll hop off and keep running away from the other monsters. Also, your arm is down here.
Yeah.
It activates and it can fly over to reconnect.
It snaps back on as something jumps onto him, and it just snaps in as he grabs one with the arm that just reattached.
Oh, yeah. Nice. You extend and then it comes into place just quick enough for you to grab it by the throat.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. If you spin and throw it, it like goes into the wall and then moves as a shadow on the wall up into the dark, and then you see it like drip down another wall and sort of slide along the floor before leaping out as a physical thing again.
So in a room with light sources, with limited light sources, you create shadows.
Mm-hmm.
In a room that is 100% illuminated, there are no shadows.
Or like that we are sharing a brain cell right now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Because like, I don't know how we get through this with no light if the screen emits light and also people need light to see. And also Delaney is here.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, Cole could try to hide her. But also if we make the room way brighter, what happens? It either deals with all of them or it makes it way worse.
Yep. It's up to y'all.
I kind of want to go for making it brighter.
How do you intend to do this is like my question.
I do emit lightning. I've done it before, but also like mechanically, I can like create lightning.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume that's pretty bright. How big is this room, I guess, is the question then.
So this room is about the size of the other standard size rooms.
Okay.
It's about the size of the garden room. It's about the size of the room the walls closed in, about the size of the room with the sand. Like, other than the library, this room fits the dimensions of the other rooms in the tower.
Can I make it really bright for like a brief moment?
Yeah, you can try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. We'll see how well you execute this idea.
All right. What role was this?
I think it's gotta be use magic.
Okay.
It's not, well, you can make an argument for act under pressure, I suppose. Because you're thinking on your feet. I suppose if none of the effects of use magic are like an effect you want, then yeah, it's act under pressure, using your physicality to do something.
Yeah. Basically, I'm activating my shocking touch thing.
Mm-hmm.
6 on the die plus 1, that's a 7.
Mixed success. You fill the room with light. Cole just glows with this crackling energy. Lightning strikes all different points of the room. It is very bright, but maintaining this means there's a bunch of fucking lightning everywhere in the room, and I think everyone else will take some harm from this attack.
I love this for me. I'm doing so good right now.
How much damage is your lightning attack?
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
How much is
Natalie,
it?
no.
How much is it?
Listen, you tried to illuminate a room with lightning.
Yeah, I did. Oh, God.
These are the consequences of your actions.
Oh.
How much is it?
Oh, I feel so bad now. Does this count as an attack?
It's not a direct attack.
All right, that's good.
It's using the effects of your attack, but it's not a direct attack. You're not like focusing this at people.
It's a passive-aggressive attack.
Cool. I'm going to not include the extra buff I get for attacks then.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So that's going to be 4 harm.
4?
Yeah. If it was an attack, it'd be 5.
Wow. How's everybody doing?
I'm dead.
Oh.
I'm literally dead.
You can use luck to avoid taking harm. That is a mechanic within the game.
Yeah, we are absolutely doing that.
Wait, can I use luck to not hurt anyone?
Have you used your luck point this session?
I have not.
Okay. All right.
I mean, you could change that roll to a 12.
Yeah, can I make this roll a 12?
Oh, interesting.
She's doing the DM hands. Everybody run. I mean, you can mark luck to change a roll to a 12.
Yes, you can mark luck to make it a 12. Okay. It rolls things back a little more than I would have liked, but that's, okay, all right. Here's what I'll say. Yes, you can make this a success while the lightning is like being channeled and very carefully dances around your friends and avoids striking them. This room is very illuminated. The monsters are at bay for the moment, and now you are a very dangerous Tesla coil in a room.
Cole, you made it.
It probably would not be a pleasant sight to look at as the giant man is just lightning.
Sure.
Honestly, with this move, you're like projecting your essence outside of yourself.
Yeah.
So most of Cole is in the room and not his body.
Oof.
Yeah. What is everyone else doing as this happens?
I mean, I know Kai is probably reeled back in some sort of pain because snakes are sensitive to light.
Scrambling for the iPad to get the fucking door open.
Val, if you're going to open the door, I'm going to have you act under pressure.
Yep, saw that one coming.
Yeah, let's get the hell out of here.
I marked another point of experience.
Oh, no.
You failed?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Okay.
No, you know what? You know what? Baby second luck point.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's happening. I refuse. I fucking refuse.
It's a good thing you didn't have to use luck to not die then.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. You get the door open, and there are stairs
Going up.
going up.
Go, 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 go.
Yeah, Val literally turns back to the rest of the room. She could very easily abandon all these people, but instead she goes, everybody out now, and waits for everyone else to get through the fucking door.
Okay. Fig, you're running out?
So fast.
Like a train.
I hop on Kai's back.
Big snake slithers through the door and up the stairs, avoiding lightning as it courses around this room.
Yeah, Val like tugs the iPad to her chest to like dim the brightness and will escape into the hallway.
Cole waits for everyone else to clear the room so that they can like power down and then run.
Okay, you all head up the stairs. The door at the top of these stairs, Valentine rolls sharp.
God damn it. That's a 12.
You notice that like you're having to like exert a lot more as you run up these stairs. You feel it's almost like G-force on your body. You get the sense that these stairs are rapidly ascending. And you get to the top and there is a door. This one has no keypad. There is a simple wooden door with a lot of the like similar carvings as to the things you saw in the office.
Great. She turns back to the group and just says really quietly in a low voice, "This is the office. And Harkness knows we're here. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know how we're getting out of this. But our only way out is through that goddamn door."
Did Delaney get back on the thing and go with Fig?
If you look around, you do not see where Delaney is.
Okay.
God damn it. Poor Delaney.
How's everybody's arm?
I'm unstable again. I'm at 4.
0?
I'm at 2.
I'm at 2 as well.
Okay.
Oh my god, that would have... Oh.
Yeah, you would have literally killed all of us.
Oh my god.
So thanks for using your luck point.
Oh my god.
Thank you so much.
Natalie, is there a chance that if I use my magic that I could do 2 healing?
That's a different move.
Yeah.
Which if you don't have it, I feel like, you know.
Yep. I agree.
I mean, if you want to quickly try and get Val back to stable again, you can just spit on her and get it over with.
People pay good money for that behavior.
This suddenly got very kinky.
Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride. Snake kisses all the way down.
All the way down?
Dude, I was gonna say, do you want to think about how you phrased that just now?
It's Pride Month. Hey, don't come for me. Don't come for me.
I can't.
Val and I are gonna go into that dark room. We'll be back in like 15 minutes.
I don't think we can get past this peak. I think this is where we stop the whole arc.
And we never find out what happens to everyone.
We never find out what happens.
Fade to black.
Yeah.
If only I could level up.
What's the word? Are you going to heal Val or not?
Yeah, I'm gonna heal Val. 7.
Comes with a glitch.
I want to do problematic side effect.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's my fave.
Kai, you start to heal Val, and as you use this magic that lets you restore life energy and close wounds, you notice a blotchy patch of skin on the back of your hand.
Oh.
Wait, on me or on Vala?
On you.
Neat!
And you see there's another patch on your other hand, and they're like slowly spreading. And I think you feel your stomach turn.
And this is after I've healed Val.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kai reverts into their snake form.
Everyone, you can see along Kai's snake-like body, there are more of these like blotches forming.
So is it like quickly forming and spreading?
Yeah.
Oh, neat.
You are starting to feel really sick and weak.
She's gonna go back to her human form.
Val, you can see on her face this spreading discoloration. And Fig, you feel your stomach turn as well. And if you glance at your hand, you see a similar blotch beginning to form there.
Guys, something's happening.
I kind of like the idea that Kai's gonna look maybe at Val and...
What are you? What did you do to me?
What are you talking about? I didn't do anything to you.
What happens when I like rub at the spots on my hands?
If you rub at it, it feels like a bruise and like a real painful one. You're starting to feel your legs turn to jelly.
Natalie, I didn't use both of my investigate a mystery before.
Mm-hmm.
Can I like try to scan them and ask what happened here?
Sure.
Because it's happening to both Kai and Fig.
Yes.
But not Val.
And not you.
I'm curious as to why it's happening to Fig.
Yeah.
Yes, is there anything I can tell?
What kind of scan are you doing? You have like a biometric scanner, or something?
Yeah, I think it's like, it's used for designating targets to kill them, but like, he's trying to see if it can tell anything about what's happening, because this is clearly not normal.
Yeah. Their breathing is starting to be labored. Their heart rate is elevating. Their blood pressure is going up, and something is happening to their blood. If you continue to like scan them, you find that there is a very high percentage of iron in all the organic people's blood.
So maybe something got put into the air.
Fucking Christ, it was this fucking dry ice shit every time.
Just slowly poisoning us?
Yeah.
Oh, I called that the first time it happened.
Fuck!
And Fig is like Fae.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so iron is deadly to them.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fig and Kai are looking sick as fuck right now. There's like dark circles forming under their eyes. These blotches continue to form. You can see now that like on their skin, rust patches.
Okay, that seems magical. I would like to try to use magic to banish a curse.
Roll use magic.
Please.
Kai has gotten to the ground.
It is a 10. Thank fuck.
You go to try and banish this magic from them. Who do you do it for first?
I feel like I gotta pick Kai.
You don't gotta.
No, I gotta.
You try to banish this effect from Kai, but like damage has kind of been done.
Ugh.
This has been in their system since you opened that first door. The door opens behind you.
God fucking damn it.
Cole will step in front of the door. If it starts to open and none of us opened it, eyes immediately go red and he steps between the opening of the door and like the rest of the people.
You all see the master of this tower, Alexander Harkness, sitting behind his desk. His skeletal visage tilts up to regard you as he says in his distinct deep baritone,
"Welcome, everyone. Please make yourselves comfortable."
Would Meridian have conveyed to Cole Harkness is better alive than dead?
Meridian specifically sent you all here to get his talisman in order to have control over him.
To forcibly recruit him. Yeah.
Okay, so he has to be alive. Cole is going to look at Val and at the two of them to see if Val has like a call to make here.
Val looks at the two that are looking real bad right now with this poisoning.
Kai and Fig, go ahead and mark 3 harm. Ignore everything.
Wait, you said 3?
3! She's chosen violence against you.
What's the call, Val?
She's gonna look at the two of them. She's gonna look at Cole, and she tucks the book away and just does like a single nod as if to say, go inside.
Cole is going to pick them both up and step into the room.
Mm-hmm.
This is a fancy-ass wizard office. Does he have, like, a plush-ass couch or something in here?
There's chairs, it's carpeted rug in here.
I think he's gonna step in, not address Harkness, just, like, put them onto soft surfaces and look at Harkness and say,
Fix them now.
Harkness says, "Oh, I intend to, once they're fixable."
Gross! Oh my god, gross! Oh my god, gross, I hate it. He wants them to die so he can resurrect them and use their spirits. It's disgusting.
Do I still have the Oni club?
Yeah.
I think Cole's going to slam a blunt object into the ground like, like how you mount like a sword, you could stick it into something, to put a large flat surface through a flat surface.
Yeah.
So it is standing upright and say,
That was not a recommendation. Fix them. You're needed alive, but not in one piece.
As like electricity cracks up his hands.
All right, Cole.
Damn.
Harkness looks to you, Cole, and he's a skull, so his expression does not change, but you hear...
An apt choice of words, Construct 13. For I do not require you intact either. Delaney, my dear, if you would be so kind.
Oh, that bitch.
And we hear echoing as if she's coming from a metallic chamber.
Yes, sir, Mr. Harkness.
And the delayed fireball spell goes off inside you, Cole.
Oh, that's right, because you put her in the secret compartment. That's what you said.
No, I never said I put her in the secret compartment.
No?
You did not.
I opted to do electricity instead.
Yes, but you were outside of your body.
Oh my god.
That moment when your essence had left you, she took that opportunity to slip inside.
Oh my god.
Val, you watch as the center of Cole's body, the metal goes cherry red.
I'm guessing that ignores armor.
Cole, what are your last words as Delaney explodes within you?
What a sentence.
Cole looks at him. The eyes are the brightest, harshest red.
Yeah. One of them cracks from the intense heat.
Yeah. And he looks dead at Harkness.
This isn't over. I'll be back.
Nice.
Oh, amazing.
I had such a fun time, everyone!
As he's lighting up, can I like dodge out of the way? Can I hide behind something?
I mean, you can go behind the door frame as you see like pieces of coal just fly out and kind of bounce down the stairs.
Yeah.
Several of them embed into the bookshelf. Like there's now flaming shit all over Harkness's office. But yeah, we see bits of coal smack and scatter against a like wall of force that is erected in front of the desk. Boom, boom, boom. These like little ripples of force bounce through the magic and embers drop onto the carpet and start to smolder there. Kai and Fig, you take another 2 harm from the poison.
I'm dead.
Yeah, I'm dead too.
Okay. What are your last words?
I had a good run. I guess the bill has come due.
Yeah, let's go. Kai, what are your last words?
I'm sorry, brother.
Ooh, damn.
Oh.
I have been imagining that she's been trying to shift back and forth between snake and human.
Your form is too rusted up from the inside.
Yeah.
Valentine, you see these rust lesions have spread all across Kai's face and body as she twitches in pain on the office floor, and then her head rolls back with vacant, clouded over eyes. She and Fig are dead.
This is a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
I'm very stumped on what to do.
You hear Harkness from within the room as he stands.
I must commend you, Miss Valentine. You did make it quite a bit further. This time.
This time? What the fuck does he mean by this time?
Didn't you steal from him before?
Right, but that just like, that's fucking weird, is all I'm saying.
It's your own personal roguelike.
God. Okay, so he says I made it much further this time. Does he have any other fun little quips to share with the audience of one?
No, he's on his phone.
What?
What do you do?
Natalie, I'm genuinely stumped.
You gotta do something.
I was not expecting the entire rest of the party to just die around me.
Welcome to my Tower of Horrors.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do I see any sign of Vanessa around here?
Ooh. Another door opens into Harkness's office, and we see a black feline figure step in, and she says,
"They've made the move on the mansion. Things at the docks are progressing nicely as well."
Double agent.
This bitch.
Harkness says,
Very good, Miss Black. I was just letting Jonathan know how things are progressing here. I've just one loose end to tie up.
All right, panic button. We're getting the fuck out of here.
Where you going?
Name the route you try and roll plus sharp.
Can I ask who's Jonathan?
King Octopus.
Okay.
What's the route you try, Valentine, if you're activating panic button the move?
I know. Is the route I try looking for a teleportation spell and using it to get herself and the remaining bodies out of here? Is that the move?
If you want that to be a thing that is happening, like an available thing, I think you do see a gateway open behind Harkness.
Oh my God.
In like the window area of his office. It's like a swirling purple cloud of smoke that just sort of opens into like a dark gateway. And he says,
Don't let me keep you, Vanessa. I'm sure you'll want to say goodbye to your former employer.
And she scans the bodies laying outside the office and what's left of Cole and sighs.
Oh dear. I was so hoping to see Valentine make it to the end. But this is a dangerous business. Thank you again for your assistance, Mr. Harkness.
And she will stroll past him and slip through the portal.
I guess we're also going to try to make it through the portal. I have to roll plus sharp and hope that I get a 10 plus.
Mm-hmm.
God. It's a 9.
What do you get on a mix?
I don't even fuck with what I get on a mix. On a mix, you can go or stay, but if you go, it's going to cost you. You leave something behind or something comes with you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
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 You making a bolt for the door?
Yep.
You round the doorway and are sprinting through this office. You just dash past Fig and Kai's bodies. Your eyes are trained on this portal. You saw Vanessa as you like peeked around the corner. She just stepped into it and vanished. And you dive to try and make it through. Harkness will shoot out an arm and catch you, grabbing you by the collar of your shirt and stopping you. And he will cast Touch of Death.
Necrios mortem.
And you are sent flying back across the office and drop to the ground.
Fuck.
Damn.
Harkness goes over to his desk, picks up his phone, sends another text, and we see that central door open again, and several of the masked skeleton servants enter this room. They go over to Fig and Kai and pick them up and take them away. As they get over to you, Val, you cough.
Fuck.
And Harkness turns and sees that you have survived somehow.
Shit.
And he says,
How fascinating. Escaping death at my hands yet again, even without your mother calling in a favor to spare you. You are full of surprises, aren't you, Miss Valentine?
He will stride over and he looks down at you. And if you sit up, you feel something sparking in your pocket.
It's not the battery, is it?
You pull out the battery that Victoria Salem constructed to siphon life energy from someone. And it is sparking with a purple light. And the light within the little crystal housing dims and vanishes. Harkness says,
Far be it from me to tempt fate twice in one night. Would you like to take the express exit?
And he gestures towards the portal.
And the bodies have already been taken away, right?
Mm-hmm.
Val slowly raises to her feet, gives Harkness a long, hard stare, makes her way to the portal and leaves.
Okay.
Never taking her eyes off of him.
You step through this portal and emerge in the docks of Portland. You hear fighting going on. You observe from this one pier several Mero who are going toe-to-toe, not with agents or local law enforcement, but demon spawn in generic black suits. More of Meridian's people here at the docks are being honestly slaughtered and dusting to ash as the Mero stab at them with their oceanic glass spears. There's one Mero here who is wearing very fancy ceremonial armor, shouting orders at the other warriors as they leap over storage containers and just swarm these demon spawn as they try to fight back with mundane like handguns and things like that. What do you do?
She walks out of one horror scene and into another.
Mm-hmm. It is dark. It is night once again, and you're nowhere near the fighting, but the fighting is happening.
Uh-huh.
I think you hear a purr. Sitting atop a storage container with a set of binoculars is Vanessa Black. And she says,
Oh, you made it after all.
Yeah, I did. And you know how back when Val first ran into the adventurers, the heroes, the hunters, and she tried to electrocute Raven by supercharging her taser hand?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna do that again.
Okay.
On Vanessa.
Kick some ass.
Kick some ass or use magic?
You're harming her. Just kick some ass.
Okay. It's at least a 10.
Okay.
Kick some ass, it's an 11. If it's use magic, it's a 10.
Either way, you've succeeded here.
Yeah.
What bonus from kick some ass do you want to take?
I want to inflict terrible harm.
Okay.
Yeah, because my base taser charge harm is 2 harm, so I'm adding a +1 onto that.
Okay. Yeah, you deal some harm to Vanessa.
Good. Fuck that bitch. I'm so fucking sick of her.
Yeah. You just like rush at her, hand-drawn electricity crackling. She's kind of like taken aback. She's like, whoa, what are you? But as you like zap her and then pull your hand away to maybe like go and like punch her or something, her eyes, the pupils in them narrow tightly. And she turns to you and lets out this like high-pitched sonic blast because Vanessa is the Ozark Howler.
Mm-hmm.
You grab at your ears, the vibrations make you dizzy and nauseous because it's affecting your inner ear as well. And I think you stumble back away from her and you hear Vanessa say,
Stop. Don't kill her.
To whomst?
To the fancy dressed Mero who steps out of the shadows.
Great.
And with like the butt of his large staff, just
Mm-hmm.
And you are gonna drop unconscious.
Great.
Valentin's unconscious form is loaded into the back of a dark SUV, and down the dock, we hear a cheer rise up amongst the Mero. Vanessa joins a group of them gathered in front of a large storage container as the last of Meridian's security force dust away. Vanessa climbs on top of the large metal freight, and the Mero Prince helps her lift open the container's hatch. And when Vanessa shines a light into this container, we can see that it is full of water. And slowly, several feminine faces break the water's surface. Half a dozen Selkie, mermaids, and other merfolk surface, the missing employees of the Deep that Meridian had captured whilst trying to subvert King O's work with Aaron Pike. Vanessa directs the Marrow to evacuate the captives, and into her phone she says,
We found them, Mr. King. The girls are safe.
We take our camera to a pair of bare feet walking across glass and wreckage.
What?
The glass does not seem to cut this person's feet. They are just stepping over it. And we see, as we pull out, King Octopus with his traditional soaked suit jacket, no shirt underneath, and then just like wet black slacks, walking past a like overturned vehicle, which is halfway through the front facade of Meridian's home, which is on fire and burning. The grounds are on fire as well. And we see Meridian dragged out. His arms are bound behind him by a black chain, which becomes Lena the Doulahan's arm as she sort of snaps it and forces him forward and down onto his knees. Mason Wright lands on top of the overhanging roof and says,
That's the last in the house, Mr. King.
He's all yours, sir.
And King O walks up to Meridian, who's bleeding on like a gash across his forehead. He's got a black eye. His jaw looks like it might be a little broken. His clothes are all messed up. King O just sort of squats in front of him.
Good evening, Marcus.
Meridian looks up at King O, blood trickling from his mouth.
Jonathan, have you gone mad? I've enjoyed our little games we've played, but you got a bit greedy. At my gala, Marcus. Taking back what I scraped and fought tooth and scale over with you for the last 5 years in a single fucking game of cards. You see how I can't let that stand?
Meridian grins and says,
You great fool. You cannot take back the harbor. You are bound away from it, even if I am dead.
And King O says,
Aye, that be true, but you forget something, Marcus. I'm very good at making friends.
And we see a pair of black SUVs pull up, and Vanessa Black gets out of one, this very ceremonial Marrow. Prince Orachelio steps out of another, and several other Marrow warriors emerge from these SUVs, dragging you along with them, Val.
God fucking damn it.
King O sees them arriving, and he says,
Your Highness, you've just arrived for the grand finale.
And the prince says to King O,
The bay is secure. We have control.
Vanessa speaks up and says,
They really did just such a bang-up job, Jonathan. And thank you again for creating this opportunity. Career advancement can be so tricky in this industry.
And King O grins and looks back to Meridian.
Vanessa Black. She's a sly one, Marcus. I can see why you trusted her with all your secrets. Trouble is, she's a shark underneath all of that black fur. And she's hungry. Got tired of living under your shadow.
And Meridian, for the first time in this exchange, actually looks caught off guard and hurt. And he stares bewildered at Vanessa, this woman who he trusted with so much of his empire. And she has turned around and handed his kingdom over to his greatest rival. There is just a look of absolute betrayal on his face. King O gets up and moves to stand behind Meridian and leans down to speak into his ear.
It's such a shame things turned out like this. I almost wonder if we could have been friends. I thought we were. Clearly you never understood the game we were actually playing. You've broken the balance.
Now, you are doomed.
We see tentacles emerge from the sleeves of King O's jacket and slowly wrap around the Meridian's neck.
We all make choices we sometimes come to regret. And you put my girls in a dark metal box.
The tentacles jerk violently and snap the Meridian's neck.
Oh, God.
You say we're friends. You might have reconsidered that last bit if we were.
The Meridian's body drops to the ground in front of his burning estate. And King O adjusts his jacket as the tentacles retreat back up his sleeves.
Right then, time to get back to work. Miss Black, there's quite a few items I'm going to be needing you to fetch for me.
I can get most anything shipped in through the harbor now. I also happen to know an expert tracker. He's the best when it comes to acquiring things of a more rare and illicit nature.
Get me in contact then. I've high need for such skills.
He looks to the Prince of the Marrow and says,
Your Highness, there's something I'm gonna need you to collect for me in Lake Superior.
The prince nods sternly and says,
It will be done.
King O looks to you, Valentine, and he says,
Miss Valentine, a shame you got caught in the crossfire this one, but I've no personal quarrel with you.
And he gives a nod, and the two Marrow holding you release you.
Would I be able to offer you a ride home this evening?
Sorry. I'm so bewildered by that. She's beat to shit. She's been watching this whole scene in front of her. He offers her a ride home, and she tries to hold on to the last bit of composure that she has, and she just shakes her head a little bit. I've got arrangements, but thank you for the offer.
A good evening to you then.
And King O will get into one of the SUVs. Mason Wright walks by you, gives you kind of like a, shit, you look awful. But he will get into the SUV that King O got into, and it pulls away. Lena, her centaur legs form, and she takes off following that car. King O, sitting in the back of the SUV, is running his fingers over a ring that he's got on one of his fingers. And then he turns and puts his phone into his pocket and turns to someone sitting in the back of the car with him. And he says,
Let the good doctor know that we're ready to move on to phase 2.
And we see the person sitting there. Their face is obscured, but on their lapel of their suit jacket is an Eastie crest. We start to hear sirens as someone has called the fire department to come put out this blaze at Meridian's home. Vanessa gets into one of the SUVs. The window rolls down and she says,
Rest up, Valentine. Let me know if you'd still like a job. I'm gonna need a lot of help soon.
Window rolls up and the car pulls away. We see Valentine's silhouette here in front of the blaze of Meridian's home as a coup has occurred here in Portland in the criminal underbelly while Rogue Team was away.
I think we get one zoomed in look on Valentine's face as she's staring at the blaze of fire emerging from the house. And now that she's alone, she lets herself cry just a little bit and she goes, I'm sorry. I'm so fucking sorry. And it's not to Meridian, it's to the team he assembled and sent on a fucking suicide mission. And then we see her turn and run away.
Valentine runs off into the night. And that's where we'll end our session.
It's fucking brutal, man.
Damn.
Thank you, everyone, for playing with us.
I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm genuinely so sorry.
You don't need to be sorry. Natalie needs to be sorry.
Well, sorry or not, before I send you all on your way, I do have some epilogue scenes to do.
Oh, no.
Our camera resolves in the cargo bay of Harkness's tower as two bodies are laid out on tables by the skeletal servants and then left here for now as they go off to other duties. We see Kai's body as she lays here, and the areas of rusted flesh, the lesions that opened up, revealing rusted blood, they look a little dry and a little flaky. And we see her like clouded over eyes. Behind the surface of them, something blinks.
No.
Breaking out and shedding her former form, Kai's snake form emerges from her human body.
What?
It's a smaller snake form than before, but once you are fully free of the husk being left behind, we see a golden glow as Kai transforms back into their human form. And the door out of this garage is ahead of you.
Okay.
You see Fig looking very dead on a table next to you and no one else.
Can I ask the dead form of Fig to roll manipulate software?
Oh my fucking god. Oh my god.
Yes, please. Go for it, Ian. Roll a charm roll for Kai to make an emotional decision here.
How charming is your corpse?
How charming is your corpse? Does it have a little twinkle in the eye?
You look at Fig, and even as they lay dead here, they have that big dopey smile on their face.
That makes it hurt more.
I rolled a 10.
Okay. Kai is going to pick up Fig. She will take his body.
We see Kai grab Fig's body and run from the tower, using your shifter strength to leap the fence and get off Harkness's property. And when you land in the bushes outside the boundary of this tower and the barrier of sigils that you all had to pass through when you were here arriving in the delivery truck, Fig's corpse catches fire.
The fuck?
And Kai, you cannot hold on to it. An inferno in your hands. You quickly toss it away. And in moments, Fig's form is reduced to ash, just smoldering charcoal on the street. And we are going to cut to a dark plain where wind and sand are being whipped about. Red lightning in the sky crackles. And we see Fig standing there, probably a little confused, although maybe not that confused. This is a familiar place for your consciousness to be, at least. And I think you hear off on the wind a wrathful scream. Does Fig have a longer name, or is it just Fig?
Fig Scalbeck.
You hear on the wind, Fig Scalbeck! As Azazel cries, feeling the presence of a former servant of hers arrive here. You glance around in a panic, and then you hear, I hear you're one for making deals. If you turn around, you see a figure cloaked so that you cannot see their face, only two pinpricks of red within a hood that extends out on an unnaturally long neck and several sets of arms that are gaunt and sinewy, wrapping around a gnarled staff covered in fungus. Beelzebub, the demon prince of decay, stands here and says, Would you care to shift your debt once again?
Fig looks around, nervously at first, but when they hear Beelzebub offering a chance to slip away and escape the imminent danger, their smile returns to their face. They turn around and say, Sounds like you want to make a deal. What can I do for you?
We see PLs extend one of their hands out towards you, and the two of them vanish with the sound of a static rip. And they are gone from this place. As we see another figure in a leather coat stepping towards the spot you were with hands in pockets. Asmodeus just takes a toothpick from their mouth and kind of flicks it onto the wind. Son of a bitch.
Amazing.
We return to Harkness's tower in a room we did not see. A room with 3D printers and soldering stations.
Oh!
We see Harkness tinkering at some circuitry, and we see as we pan down the table a hand connected to an arm bicep that's sort of dislodged, wiring into a shoulder plate and the hollowed out, welded together chassis of the chest, and a robotic face that's like half complete. It's not quite put back together entirely. There's like a plate missing from the face. One of the eyes is like not quite installed yet. It's sitting on the table. And Harkness is just sort of humming along.
Well, as I said before, nothing to waste.
And the one eye installed in Cole's cranium lights up with a purple light.
Is he trying to rewire Cole's brain, or is he just rebuilding him?
He is rebuilding and resetting your base protocols to rewrite your like loyalty algorithms. Because Meridian is gone.
Yeah.
He's not like erasing Cole's personality. He's just like changing one little...
Like, is he making himself my boss?
Yes. He's like taken the bit of code and erased Meridian Freight Shipping Industries and replaced it with Harkness Financial Holdings. What do we hear?
You get kind of a garbled version of his voice. And he says,
Hello, sir. Was the mission a success?
You did quite well, Construct 13. But there is always more we can learn. I have much to teach you.
If you do not mind, Mr. Harkness, before the next lesson begins, I'm going to need some pants.
Good for you, Cole.
Thank you, everyone, for playing in this, God, just eventful arc. Little mini arc for Valentine and just special for her.
I feel so special right now.
Yay, good, I'm glad.
You bitch. I say with all my affection as I'm crying on the other side of the screen.
I hope everyone had a good time.
Had a great time.
Thank you for playing a bunch of crooks. Gosh. Let's tell everyone where they can all find you and your work out on the grand internet, where things remain on fire, but we do our best to make art there.
I am Ian Malden. You can find my work on Shrimp and Crits podcast. You can find us on whichever podcatcher that you like to use, or at shrimpandcrits.com. Thank you for listening, and thank you for having me, Natalie.
Yeah, I loved Fig. They were such a little scamp.
So fun. That's such a fun, goofy character to be.
Yeah.
My name is Maya Detchen Wander. You can find me with the Monsters Playbook. You can find us on social media, except for Twitter, as Monsters Playbook. Twitter is Monster Playbook because of character reasons. Yeah, come hang out with us. This was fun. I like playing with my friends and causing mischief and flirty eyes.
Giving snake kisses.
Yes.
So I'm Darian Hester. Instagram, you can find me at Darian D. Hester. I'll be working on stuff over the next year or two, writing a lot of stuff for Tabletop, so that'll probably be showing up in places. I had a great time here. I realized that I handed Natalie, for one of her villains, just a fucking unkillable monster machine.
You did
and
that.
I do love this. So I'm glad I was able to give her this gift of truly a nightmare for them to deal with.
God. Can't wait to have you back, buddy.
Mission success, bitch.
And I'm also glad I didn't kill everyone.
God, that would have been something.
Yet.
Yeah. And for those of you tuning into here for the very first time, we are the Storyteller Squad. You can find us on all the socials at Story Squad Cast, or you can find us at thestorytellersquad.com. And I've been world's most traumatized bitch, Ariel Valentine. Thanks for listening. I need floor time.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us and listening in. I've been Natalie Fuinia. I don't really use socials, but you can find me on them at Natalie Fuigia. But mostly you should check out Story Squad Cast because that's where we're making all the cool stuff happen for this show. We are making con appearances where you can buy cryptid merch from us. Keep an eye on the website for our most upcoming of appearances in that regard. And it's been an absolute pleasure running for this group. I love having guests on. It's so much fun to just shake things up and see new faces at the table. So thank you, adventurers. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Goodbye.
It's the episode that can't figure out how to end. Hey, adventurers. If you're catching this one on release, you know our timing's been a little thrown off lately. This episode was scheduled for Halloween, then we pushed the release to right after the US election. And we all know how that went. But I wanted to pop on here at the end with a message for the squad and all of our friends who've been a part of or worked on TSS with us so far. Thank you. This show remains one of the brightest points of joy in my life. We're headed for scary and uncertain times ahead, but I promise to burn bright and not out so we can keep telling stories and making art together. Take care of each other, adventurers. And remember, even if they're hard to see, the world is full of wonders. So let's have an adventure.